What are y'all doing? This is Charles Deering. Y'all let me know if y'all have any trouble hearing me because I have my window unit on because it's Texas and of course I'm going to be a little warm here in my shop. It is nippy outside but cold in the shop, or warm in the shop. This is what we're going to be working on. This is a custom pattern, but earlier I was talking about uh, elderly people, although we don't have a whole lot of wrinkles going on here, so there's that. And as with every pattern, even the ones I'm working on, uh, they're a learning curve for me as well because some things work, some things don't. Right off the bat, something that could translate funny is the shadows her glasses leave on her cheek. I would definitely want to focus on the shape of the glasses, but you can see. Let me find my pen because I wasn't prepared. I can't find the pen I was using earlier. That could be a bad omen. And that's not it, but hopefully it'll work. One thing that may not translate correctly will be this right here because that's dark and it's not as dark over there. So it's going to be a trial and error. So, but first of all, let me know if you'll have any trouble hearing me because I am talking over the window unit. And if you don't have any trouble hearing over me, I will just proceed. But I will start by saying what you're going to see here, as well as the 6 downloadable videos off of my website, woodenvisions.com, is only really teaching the paper, making patterns on paper portion. I'll show you the computer part, but I'm not teaching that part because I only do that to clean up and color in the patterns for public display. That is not part of the lesson, so to speak. But I do encourage any and all questions because I don't always think of everything to tell everybody. But this is my best. Um, these live streams where I do my patterns and the downloadable videos on woodenvisions.com are my efforts to try to teach what I do without being hands-on right there with you. So that's why I encourage all questions. And so I'm just going to begin. Again, if I repeat things that you've seen in past live stream, it is because not everybody sees every live stream. So I treat every live stream like it's the first one I've ever done. Now, I don't know what I did with my pen that I was using earlier, but hopefully this one here works. It's not a magic pen. It's not a digital pen. It's just a regular old everyday ink pen. So I won't proceed too much further until I hear from people in the chat. Let me know if y'all are having any trouble hearing me or how the sound is and all that. There are people watching on Facebook as well as YouTube. Facebook. YouTube usually has the more active chat if that matters to you on socializing, and YouTube usually has better video quality if you're not happy with the video quality on Facebook. You can find me under Charles Deering Scroll on YouTube. I hope you'll subscribe and click on that bell to be notified. And if you want to connect on Facebook for any reason, I go by the Charles Deering, and that's all one word. But whenever I share these live streams to any groups on Facebook, please know that I cannot see any comments that are in those groups. Even though you may be watching this live from a group, I can only see the comments on Facebook if they are from my personal profile live feed. And I believe that's open to the public. So if you want to ask a question in real time, I won't see it unless you're watching from my personal profile. If it's shared in a group, you can watch it there, but I won't see the comments until after it's over. Okay, and somebody says sounds good, so we're good. We have 16 folks watching. I didn't share to too many groups because I didn't want Facebook throwing me in jail again. One thing is a requirement during these things sometimes is a sense of humor, but also have your beverage of choice, which I do. This is actually the third live stream of today. That might be the first time I've ever done 3 live streams in a day. I did 2 very early this morning. And since more people have joined, I'm going to repeat a couple things. You will see the computer portion of this, but what I'm teaching here is every thought process I go into, even when I change my mind in real time on a portrait pattern, and this is on paper. That's the only part I'm teaching. The computer portion I'm showing just to show how I color it in and clean it up. for public display. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is I have 6 downloadable instructional videos about how to make patterns on paper on my website, and somebody wrote back very upset because they bought it in order to learn how to do the computer part, even though the title of the video said it was how to do it on paper. But I just want to make it clear. And so we're getting ready to start now. There are a lot of little talking points I got to get out of the way, although I'll probably repeat some of them while I'm going. You cannot shade in a scroll saw pattern. It's either cut out or it's not. So, and what else? In other words, we know to the human eye, her top is dark in these areas, but we're concentrating on the shadows. Sometimes you're concentrating on dark colors, which is like his suit, and sometimes it's shadows. And on the face it'll be the shadows. On here it'll be the shadows. And in the case of their eyes and his eyebrows and part of her hair, that's dark, not just shadows. So it is a combination. But I'm going to get started. The process from start to finish is, let me go ahead and show you on my computer here. I always, the bigger the pattern, the bigger the photo, the better, because I can zoom in to look for detail. So that tells you how pretty clear that is. And what I'll do is I'll mathematically split it into 2, and I'll print both halves, because if I were to print this all on one sheet of paper, it would print out smaller. So that's why we've broken it like that. Does anybody have any comments or questions so far? If not, I'll proceed. I'll give you all a chance to respond. Sometimes between YouTube and this platform, StreamYard, there's a little bit of a lag, so I'm just waiting to see if anybody has any questions. Another thing I do for every pattern I do is on paper, but we get a clean sheet of glass. I'm trying to cover up the reflection so it doesn't blind everybody. The reason for the glass is so that when we're tracing onto the printed out picture, it is not leaving a texture of like scratches or gouges in the desktop. So whatever surface you're working on, if you have a piece of glass on there, it'll stay nice and smooth, and you won't have any bumps in your line. What else? First, we put down a clean sheet of paper, and I'll show you that, and along with a sheet of carbon paper, or sometimes known as transfer paper. Let me catch up on the questions. Any comments? Chris Nealon says, sounds good. Louis Diaz, hello, sir. He says, good evening, sir. I'm thinking about getting into scroll sawing. I would like your expertise in which is the best scroll saw for beginners. I'll get right back to you on that, just so I can catch up. Lawrence Aldridge says, I don't know how long I will be here, but glad you're still here, Charles, and hello, everyone. Hello, Lawrence. Appreciate you being here. Now, Louis, the best scroll saw for beginners is really, it comes down, hello, Jesse Ramirez. Welcome back. It comes down to, and now opinions will change on this, but a scroll saw for beginners is, the easy answer is the best that you can afford, because in the end, how the scroll saw is used is up to the user. But the entry-level saws, the cheaper saws, do vibrate more. Sometimes they don't last as long. An example being, I'm trying to think how to word this. Sorry, my mind scatters quite a bit. How do I want to word this? If you use it maybe an hour a day every few days, a cheaper one will probably last longer. But if you get addicted to it and you're scrolling for hours on end, day after day after day, the cheaper saws won't hold up to it. That doesn't mean you have to go out and get a high-end saw. Just get the best you can afford, and you'll probably get better results as far as the quality of the saw itself. But in the end, it's about how you use it. Hello, Joe Castillo. Appreciate you being here. I hope I helped some there, sir, Lewis. Yeah, it's the best you can afford. The most common, well, no, I haven't bought a scroll saw in a while, but I think the most common middle of the road price wise is the DeWalt 788, but other people might debate you on that. Entry level saws are stuff like Ryobi, Harbor Freight. It really does depend on how often you're going to use the saw, because you don't want to buy something and then a month or two later it's in the trash because it didn't hold out to all the constant use. It depends on how often you're going to use it. So I hope that answered somewhat, but everybody in the chat's welcome to answer that too if they have a feedback on it, because I'm not the expert on everything, by golly. Again, if you're just joining and you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching, because every now and then when I start a live feed, I will share it to different groups on Facebook, and you can watch it from those groups that I've shared them to. But if you comment on the live feed from one of those groups, I won't see it real time. The only way for me to see the real time comments are if you are watching from my personal profile and commenting. That's when I'll see it real time. Same with YouTube, I can see that in real time. Lawrence Aldridge says he has, or for him, it was a Delta 40-695 is a mid-range price. But yeah, in other words, I don't want anybody on Facebook to think I'm ignoring their questions or comments, because I can only see the ones that are posted on my live feed that are on my personal profile. Although you may be able to see the live feed from one of the groups I share it to. Otherwise, I'll have to wait till after the stream to see the comments and questions and respond to them there. But okay, the first part of this is the glass. Then we get a clean sheet of paper. If you missed it, the glass is so that we don't have any texture. We want it to be completely smooth when we're using our pen, whichever pen we choose to use. And then I use very dark carbon paper, and the darkest I have found is available on Amazon from a company called Cedar Rock Enterprises, or also known as CRE. I don't know which term you find it under. It's probably under carbon paper, or I don't know. It's either carbon paper or transfer paper, but just look under Cedar Rock Enterprises. That's the company name on Amazon. And this whole picture is not going to fit on one sheet of paper. I split it up, so you see it's only going to cover part of it, and I'll just do the rest on the other half. And I'll do another sheet of paper for that. But I put the carbon paper down. I leave a little bit of a border showing so I can make sure I'm lined up. And I tape everything down so that it does not move, because once you start tracing, you don't want anything to move, or it could be real chaotic. Luis Diaz says, "Thank you, sir. Yes, you did answer my question. Thanks again, and love your work. Keep it up." Thank you very much, Luis. I appreciate that, sir. And I appreciate everybody watching. If you're watching for the first time and you're not subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing, and make sure you click the bell. You won't miss any notifications. Usually, I do at least one live feed a day, unless life or health is getting in the way. And for those asking, I am feeling okay. We're good. Sometimes we get 2 live feeds in a day, and this is actually my 3rd one today, which is rare, but we'll go with it. Appreciate every one of y'all joining. Any comments or questions? There's no such thing as a stupid question, because we're all going to learn somehow. And I'm trying to get a little bit of this crease out of here so that it won't skip the line, but if it does, there's worse problems to have. And we're going to get going. This is just part of the process. It looks like we're not going to be able to get that crease out of there, but we'll probably be able to draw past it. So let me line up some edges here. We're going to start with the upper half. It won't be upside down to you. Mr. Lawrence Aldridge said, "Scroll on, baby." I'm just lining up this edge because I homemade cut this edge, so I'm just lining up the right edge because I didn't cut that. Okay, and the reason why we want to tape it in place, besides it not moving, is we want it to be completely straight. I'm just doing this for something to weight it down while I tape it. We don't want anything to move, because if you do the upper half completely straight and the bottom half is slightly at an angle, it won't line up when you scan both halves in. So there is that. I'm also going to make a line where the paper underneath is stopping so that I don't draw past that. It would be kind of a waste. And I'm going to press down to make sure there's no weird wrinkles or kinks in the paper. Russ Meadows says, hello, everybody. Russ, I sent you the link if you are so inclined. No pressure per the usual. Russ Meadows, good friend of mine. You need to get your hind end in here, Russ. Just saying. Been too long. Between my vacation and your sleep schedule, we're both a little behind. Oh, excuse me. And I'm with every pattern. At 99% of the time, I will start with the eyes. Now, in the Native Americans we worked on earlier, the lights of the eyes were pretty close to the edges. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Russ Meadows.
What's going on, guys?
Whole lot of nada. Appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir. I thought that you wanted to wipe the kinks out of that thing, but I thought you liked kinks. Thought you were kind of kinky.
All right. I have
it's
no
still
idea.
family friendly. No,
I know. I just don't know how to respond to it. For the sake of video, I'm going to go ahead and put the picture on the portrait. But if you want to tell everybody where they can find you on social media and all that, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, hello, everybody. Yeah, y'all can find me on Rusty Nails with the Z. Gotta have that Z. Wood shop. Yeah. Got this wood shop or workshop. Sometimes I lose my brain. Facebook, Instagram. I mean, just the bare minimum on YouTube. Haven't got out there to make a second one yet. One of these days. And that's where you can find me.
All right. Well, we appreciate you per the usual. He's usually the crowd favorite as far as sense of humor and just the banter back and forth. When his little wife lets him, he gets on these live streams, and I appreciate it. I hope this isn't too private, but I noticed your wife said she was stopping the cups and T-shirts and stuff. Is everything okay, or is that too personal?
Oh no, it's fine. She's just got more than she can handle.
Well, that's a good problem to have, I reckon.
It kind of is. She started doing embroidery and sewing for folks, and that got busy. And she started doing cups, and that got busy. And she's doing a few other things now, and it's all been a little bit more than she could put up with.
See, that's what you get when you're too good at doing stuff.
That's the problem. She's the type of person that's always got to be doing something. If she's not doing something, she's not productive. And I'm the type where I can sit and watch a TV program, but not her. She's got to be doing something. And every time I sit and watch TV, that's all you're going to do all day. I said, well, might be.
I'm retired. Damn it.
Yeah, but that don't seem to matter.
If I'm not sleeping, I'm doing patterns or finished pieces or cuttings. But I'm getting ready to start. Audience, don't run off yet. Okay. And thank you once again, Russ, for being here.
Yes, sir.
And without getting too detailed, I contacted the old friend, hoping to reconnect because of, the last live stream you heard me talking about it. It just made me think, man, life's so short. We got to get over this crap. I contacted him. I'm hoping for the best. Had to contact him through his page, though, because I think I'm blocked through personal profiles, but I'm going to stop there. But, that in hearing that he mentioned me and complimented me so highly, I thought he hated me. So
I hope it works out, because that's what I've been hoping for. I've been praying for that for a while now.
Yeah, I've tried 3 times in the past. Maybe the timing wasn't right, but I just said, man, life's too short. We got to build on what we had. If we had too much good going. Okay, now, folks, when I always start with the eyes if I have a choice in the matter, and luckily I do. But notice, and this is a good thing to remember on finished pieces. The lights are not always on the edge of the eyes. These are right out here in the middle. And what you can do for realism, if you so choose, when you glue your portrait to the backer, most times the backer is black, just put a little dot of white paint. Just make sure it's in the correct area. And that adds realism. I did it for a custom portrait one time, and because sometimes if you try to connect that light in the eye way off to the side, it looks kind of weird sometimes. So I think on this one, I'm going to recommend that to the customer. This is a custom scroll saw pattern for somebody. They're doing the cutting, but I'm going to let him know. I'm going to trace these for the sake of placement, but they will not be attached to anything. But if they're close to the side of the eye, you can get away with that. So there's that. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to try to keep the pen, or I'm going to try to keep my hand from covering what I'm doing, so I have to do it all to the side here. But y'all let me know if you have any trouble saying, is that too bright or anything?
That's pretty good for me.
All right. I've noticed every time I do one of these pattern live streams, it takes me right around 21 minutes to get going because of all the explaining I'm doing.
Well, you're right on time, man.
God. I appreciate everybody being here. If you have any questions or comments, don't hold back. If you're watching on Facebook to a group I shared, I cannot see the comments unless you write them on my personal profile. Although you can see the feed on a group, you may not be able to. I can't see your comments in real time. Anyway, anytime you anytime you see me sitting still, it's me thinking where I want to go and how I want to trace something. You don't want to bring this line all the way over to the dark of the eye because it'll be surrounded by darkness with that shadow line, and there, just do only the part you can see. And your mind's eye, or your mind's eye will finish that line because you've seen enough eyes that you'll know that's an eye. And there is a shadow line where the upper eyelid is creating a shadow under the eyeball. So we can put a line there. Again, I'm ignoring the fact that there's light in the eye. I'm not trying to connect from the white part of the eye. And the eyes are dark, so you can get away with just tracing the iris rather than concentrating on where the pupil is. I am going to trace these little lights in the eyes just for letting the customer know where to put that dot of white paint. It's somewhat important for realism, not mandatory.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
When you go to doing those eyebrows, you got real dark, and then on the edges, on the ends there, that's really light.
Yeah, that can be a booger.
I was going to say, do you go ahead and just cut the whole thing? Because I would cut the whole thing.
Well, what I do, it depends on how light and how sparse the hairs are.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now there's a little bit of a break in here, so I can use that as an advantage. And I'm really only tracing what I see. It's kind of a combination of wrinkles and little hairs. So pretty much just going to do it as I see it. Okay. But if they were lighter, and that's the booger when you're doing light colored,
right?
Completely light colored, either red hair in some cases or blonde. Sometimes you just have to suggest the edge of the what you call it, the eyebrows. Now, her eyebrows are covered by her glasses for the most part, so
right.
That's another area that could give trouble. But I hope I answered that the way you wanted me to. But there's it really depends on the eyebrows you're dealing with. These were sort of self-explanatory to me, anyway. I realized when I said self-explanatory, if it was self-explanatory, you wouldn't have had to ask. So that's what I meant for me. I just trace what I see. And occasionally, if you're looking for realism, you could add little jagged lines unless they're like manicured eyebrows, which is not always the case on a male. But you can add jagged edges to suggest hair. And that's if you're dealing with a blurrier photograph. Now part of his eyelid goes into the shadow right here, so that's where we're doing that. So this eye is completely done, not counting the wrinkles. And although there's a little bit of shadow under here, I am going to separate the two because you got lights and darks, and we're concentrating more on the feature of the eyelash or eyebrow. But there's also a little bit of a shadow on the bridge of the nose, so I'm kind of making this up as I go. See, I'm covering it up. I hate it when my hand does that.
Well, it's really not comfortably normal
Yeah.
for you to be doing it this way.
Well, that too, but also, I keep using the word struggle. I don't know the other word to use, and I know what you were talking about. I'm just referring to, you have light shadows and dark hair.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to do both, it can end up as a total cluster, because I could easily color in all of that, but there's a little bit of darkness right here, so I'm taking advantage of that. It may not translate well on the final pattern. It may look like I have some kind of weird eyebrow, so I'm actually going to create a little break right there just to differentiate, because that's more of a bridge of the nose wrinkle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary, because before this morning I had done 3 live streams doing patterns, and only for the most part only one really turned out the way I wanted it to, but I made little tweaks and made the self-portrait come out all right. Now you can barely see the eyebrows over here, but we're going to kind of work off of this side, but you can some things show up better on my computer screen than they do here in the paper. So I'm actually glancing up at the computer screen every now and then, but there's not a real distinct shape in here. So I'm just going to kind of be generic with it. It's got crow's feet, so we're going to use that too. There's really not much to see over here, so I'm kind of halfway guessing at it. And that may not translate well. It may look fine to me, but the customer say, well, can you do something with that left eyebrow? And then I'll say, oh God, what do I do?
Well, did you lighten this picture up any?
I lightened it up a tiny bit.
Okay.
And I don't have the other example. I only lightened it up by 10, whatever that is.
Okay.
Because sometimes you have to do that because things look okay on a printer screen or on a computer screen. Mm-hmm. And when you print it out, it's a little bit of it's too dark. So I brighten it up to bring out the detail in the hair and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do that as well. But I was just wondering, by lightening it up, did it kind of lighten up his brows a little bit? Was it, original picture, were they dark enough to make out?
That's what I was wondering. I don't think it lightened it up too much. Usually the only reason I lighten up things is stuff like this. I could still have trouble making this out, but it's just overall certain things pop out better.
Yeah.
Mr. Portal Woodworks, David Jones has joined us in the chat on YouTube, and Lawrence Aldridge says, I'm going to get some number 5 ultra reverse blades to try my copper when I get it going. Had to wait on my blades for a couple of weeks, but getting copper, sweet, Thursday. All right. Good luck on that, sir.
Oh, and in answer to Lawrence's question above, I haven't seen Penelope in a few days.
Probably too dang cold and wet outside.
It's not so much cold, but it's been raining and off and on for the last week.
I'm so sick of rain.
You ain't kidding.
Even when we need rain, I hate rain.
I know we need it, but by God, we didn't need this much of it.
Yeah. Now the thing about wrinkles, I was saying this earlier, this one I think we're going to be okay, but on some elderly people, they're covered in wrinkles, and that's not to belittle them. It's just if you were to try to on a extremely wrinkly elderly person, if you try to trace every single wrinkle, you could have a crackly mess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've lost 10 viewers since it started. Wow. Okay.
It must have been me.
We don't usually have that much of a drop, is the way it caught my attention. But anyway, now this is another shadow I'm going to kind of wrestle with in figuring out what shapes I want to do it. We got that corner of the eye stuff here.
How many people we have watching on YouTube?
Ooh, we have 12 total, and there are 6 on Facebook, 6 on YouTube.
Well, like I said, I just went and gave you a thumbs up, and that was number 3. So,
yay!
We need some more, folks.
Thank you.
The old day, I see David's here. I saw him a while ago, but I didn't get to say anything before you caught it.
Yeah.
But howdy, Squid.
When I wrote to unnamed person earlier, I said, even if you decline, let me know you saw this, so I'll at least know whether or not it was seen. But anyway, Here's hoping. Life's too short. Now, this is one of those things that's custom to this guy. There's a little bitty subtle wrinkle all by itself right here. The rest of it typical bags, but this is kind of unique to him. And when you're working on a custom portrait, you want to stay as true to the photograph as you can, because little crooked smiles or distinct moles or whatever. But I hate it when somebody says, "Can you reduce the amount of necks?" It's like I'm not a plastic. I'm not a plastic surgeon. I'm just.
I was like, when they said, "Can you make me look prettier than I really am?" I said, "No."
Well, people kept thinking I was going to do that on my self-portrait. So I was going to draw me in all my ugly glory, by God. But if you ever want to figure out what physical flaws you have, do a self-portrait.
No.
One of them will stick out.
I'm not going to do it. I had before I got married, way before I got married, I had a girlfriend that she was kind of an artist. She could draw really well. And she took a shine one day to draw me. And I didn't know she was doing it. But she showed it to me and she said it looked just like me. And I looked at it. Man, that don't look like me. I don't see that when I look in the mirror. Yeah, she said it was a spitting image of me. I said, "Damn, that's ugly."
She's like, "My God, why didn't you tell me I was that ugly?"
What do you see in me? Because I don't see it.
Your sense of humor?
Yeah, but it's got to be that.
Yeah, I think as far as detail of their wrinkles and folds, we got pretty lucky here because it's not overkill by any means. Now, there again, he had that unique wrinkle there in the bags. Now, he has some real subtle wrinkles here, but we might be able to get away with leaving those out. But this is one of those things I could change my mind as I go on. But for now, I'm going to leave these two. They probably show up better on the computer than they do on paper. Do you see the two I'm pointing at?
Not really.
Okay, then that's a good thing. Well, you can kind of see them. I can see them on the computer screen. They're very faint.
Well, I am far away from you. I can't see it that good.
Yeah, you're way over there.
I'm further away than that.
No, I got it. That's true.
No, I really can't. I can't see him on the screen. I can maybe see just a hint of an outline or something, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
All righty.
If I had to draw it, I wouldn't be able to do it.
And another thing a lot of people don't know when it comes to people, ears are as unique as fingerprints.
Yes, they are.
They have been used to solve crimes before from photos or video. Now the detail in his ear goes off to the edge, so I'm going to use that to my advantage to do the shape of his ears. We don't want to close that completely off, or that'll be a floater or very brittle.
Now, I wanted to kind of compliment you a little bit on the self-portrait that you did whenever you were doing the eyeglasses, the sunglasses. And, I was telling you, I was asking you about drawing all that reflection out of the eye. And I thought sometimes I would just think to just go ahead and make the glasses be dark.
Yeah.
And as I took a look at it after you'd finished with it, I said, well, that makes a whole lot of difference.
Yeah.
It was good looking at the way it came out.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, I did have to do some editing. If you watch towards the end of the video after the big old talk fest we were having. Yeah, sorry about that again. You'll see that I just to show people, I copied and pasted and did a separate one and then filled in the glasses, and it looked really generic, at least in my opinion, of my own work. Mm-hmm. And so I guess, but I did have to alter because the left side of the sunglasses was pretty bright looking, so I had to do a little darkening in. But now, see, he's got one of these. I don't know what that's called, and I know you can see that. That's
I can see that good.
Cranial shadows.
Yeah.
I don't want to overdo it or underdo it, so I'm just going to make somewhat of a subtle line. I don't know how well that's going to translate. Some things translate, some things don't.
Mm-hmm.
And my foot is cramping in the weirdest spot.
No, that's not good.
Yep. Okay. I'm just jumping around now because once I do the eyes, there's no real order to everything. Now, just another example of dark on dark. His nostrils are dark, yet there's also shadows. So I'm going to concentrate more so on the nostrils and just the shape of everything else.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to be able to stay with you because she's sewing right now, but she's going to come back in here later to do some work. So
you don't love
hopefully.
Me no more.
Well, that's not that. I just I live with this one.
Yeah. I can't compete with that.
I'll stay as long as I can.
All right, much obliged.
Where's old Wesley? I haven't seen him in a while.
I don't know. I post the link to the because we have that Team Scroll Saw discussion.
Right.
Yeah, I posted two there. Nobody's dropped in, but I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I'm the only jackass. Come on.
Yeah, but we're proud to have you.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be seen.
or at least heard.
Either way.
Sometimes even something simple as the shape of the frown lines are important. So we want to trace those exactly rather than assuming what they look like. This one curls down kind of far.
Yeah.
I probably could have made that a little bit thicker, but I think we can get away with it. He has relatively flat nostrils on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it to that side instead of the nostril. The nostril opening, I don't know all the parts. Now he has a unique shadow under here. Luckily, it's not going to look like a Hitler mustache. And sometimes that happens, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But some things translate well, some don't. And he's got these unique texture to his upper lip that I'm hoping I can translate that well. But I'm going to start out with just the lips themselves. Again, if anybody has any questions, don't hold back. I mean, because I don't know what y'all are thinking, what you know and what you don't know. And let me know if I get to covering up my own hand sometime, or a pen.
All right.
Now obviously the shadows on the ends of the lips and between them isn't quite, or is darker than the actual lips. So sometimes you just have to suggest the shape of the lips with a single line. Something like that. And I really, right this second, don't know how I'm going to suggest some of that detail in there, but I'm more so going to go with there's a little bit of a unique wrinkle right here.
Lawrence, that's funny. Herb says, I'm glad you're here, Russ. I'll just try to figure out when the wheels are going to fall off.
That's funny right there.
Lawrence says, if Ma ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. If Grandma ain't happy, run.
Yep.
I've heard that too.
I really don't know what to do with some of this detail because I don't want it to look like a really messy mustache. So I'm going to stop there for now on the mouth. But we do have some unique shadows. I forgot to do the line where the paper ends, so let me do that. This line right here tells me not to bother drawing past it because the rest of it will be on another sheet of paper. This suit will be very easy to do because it's going to be all cut out. I'm jumping around here. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you about that mouth again because I saw you do just that line, but not including the mark above the lips where you just put the two spots, not including that part. There is still a little bit of upper lip that you haven't got put in, and I was just wondering if you were gonna.
You mean this gap right here?
Yeah, right between there on either side. His lip does go up a little bit on either side of that gap. Just a hair, it does. I don't know if you were gonna do that in, or if you're just gonna leave it as is.
Well, I don't want to connect that line completely because that'll make the upper lip a floater.
Right.
That line. But I mean, what you're seeing here is not the actual lip. That shadow's on the upper lip. The actual lip is right in between those two gaps. That's the whole.
That's what I'm talking about. Because I didn't see you draw a line to delineate that.
Oh yeah, that's what this line right here is.
Yeah.
Upper lip, and that's where the lips meet.
Right.
And if I were to bring that line all the way over, this upper lip would be a floater.
Well, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying, but I'm gonna let that slide.
Well,
we'll see how it goes.
If you're talking about that detail, that's just a divot in the upper lip. You know the area where a mustache would be.
Yeah, I understand that. That's not where I'm talking. I'm talking about below that, where your upper lip meets the bottom, right in that center.
Right here?
Right there. You got a part of it. Yeah, right there. Now, if you go to the left of that and the right of that, you do have an upper lip.
Yes.
A little bit that You drew a line on one side, but it didn't look like you drew the line on the other side.
Yeah, there's a line drawn on both sides. I promise.
Okay, because I can't see it from here. That's why I was asking.
Okay, now we're clear.
We're square, dang it.
Okay, I drew it from here to here and from there to there. The gap is so we don't have a floater for an upper lip.
I can understand
Okay,
that.
now
Let's go ahead, Dag Blabbit.
We're on the same page in 3 separate books, but
I think these guys want me to shut up and let you talk.
no, that's fine. I mean, because they might have been thinking the same thing. So little things like that, I appreciate.
No, they probably saw it. I didn't.
Well, sometimes when you're on a live feed with me, it's hard to pay attention to everything because you I think, man, when can I go have my next root canal?
I didn't think nothing of the kind.
I'm kidding. Now we know this tie is dark, but it's not quite as dark as the suit. So I'm going to try to do the shadows on the tie. But you know what? See, this is me changing my mind on the fly. Since the tie is not a significant portion of the portrait, I'm just going to make it all cut out. And there's no way in heck I'd be doing those pinstripes unless somebody was going to do it very large and wanted that much detail. But yeah, their faces and probably her shirt are more important. But his suit is, traditional, just dark. And he has some shadows coming off of his cheek into the chin area. I guess you would call these jowls. I don't know what you call them on a human.
That's what I've heard them called.
Now that's doing this line here to suggest the collar that's coming down. I'm stopping just short of that line I drew down there, so I'm going to go off the edge of this sheet of paper. And we'll just edit when we're doing the second half. Lawrence Aldridge says, I'm glad to see you doing a pattern like this. I'm thinking of trying my dad in his uniform, but kind of scared, but love your work, Charles. Thank you very much, Lawrence. Now, this is a perfect example of one of those lower lips that is there, but it's not real defined. So you got to be careful with the shadow in there. Plus, you got unique chin wrinkles. So a little bit nervous about going there, but we're going to get there. Might as well get the shirt out of the way. I don't like not adding detail to the tie, but I think we'll be okay.
Well, from my vantage point, it's a little hard to see it anyway.
Yeah, and it is here too. That's why I'm choosing to go that route. And the reason why I keep turning the sheet of paper is just for visual comfort and trying not to block people's view. I don't know what Lawrence means when he says meant to say again. Oh, he might say he meant to say something.
Yeah.
Okay, so just get this out of the way, and the suit will be done. I know that took a long time. I was actually surprised how quickly those Native American patterns went this morning. For me working on a pattern, they usually take longer than that. But I was rushing on a lot of the feather type detail. But I was very happy how those patterns turned out. So I was glad I finally did a live stream where I was happy with the result.
Well, that one that you got with me on 6:30 this morning, you had already been on it for a while, and when I woke up and saw, well, I actually hadn't woke up, I hadn't been to bed yet. And I looked at it for a while before I finally nodded out, and when I woke up, it was done. And I said, man, that came out real nice.
Yeah, I was actually happy with it. I'm glad we had some because I had those first 3 live streams, only one of them came out decent, in my opinion.
Yeah, I haven't seen the other one, the first one. I don't recall seeing it yet. I'll have to go take a look.
They're on my profile there.
Yes, sir. I believe I can find it.
Now, he has some serious, unique wrinkles going on here, so I have to stay true to those because they're unique to him. And I got some tape holding this stuff together. It's kind of to catch on it. Herb Hooper says, how many are you going to do tonight, Charles? It depends on my energy level, if we're being honest, Herb. Yesterday, early this morning, I was raring to go. It was like 2:30 in the morning, did one, and then within 30, 45 minutes, I did another one. And this is live stream number 3 for the day.
Yeah. You don't have to catch up for the time you were off, Charles.
Yeah. I do hate it. I can't be here. And I think Dave Gatton said something like, think of your health first. That's what matters. Just saying. And I get that. I'm not going to try to kill myself with these things, but some people have withdrawal when I'm not here, and so do I, because this is kind of my life now, doing live streams, whether it's cutting or patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to do a little subtle wrinkle on the chin here and that little divot in the chin. And there's not a real distinct lines here on the lower lip, so I'm a little nervous. And again, some things show up better on the computer screen. For my sake, the computer screen is in front of me right here. The camera's above me, so I'm able to glance over the computer screen, and the shadows of the lower lip show up better on the computer screen than they do in front of my eye. But I'm going to just go with what I can see. It's at least suggesting how full his lower lip is, and I might have got a little bumpy there, but the drawback is that it's falling right where the two pieces of paper come together, so it's kind of hard to make out the whole shape.
Lawrence says you better go ahead and get yourself set up with 2 cases of Dr. Pepper.
If you're buying, by golly.
Have it sent at such and such location,
Yeah,
Gatesville, Texas, if you don't mind.
absolutely. Yeah, there's not a real distinct line where that bottom lip shadow ends, so I'm hoping I chose right. And we want to do the actual chin shadow into the neck. There's a lot of shadow on the neck, but I'm going to try to find it all.
Well, I'm wondering something,
All right.
and this goes out to the chat as well. Every time you turn that glass,
Uh-huh.
you turn the photo to get visual comfort. You know, is anybody else besides me turning their head to see how you're turning it like this? I've been turning my head every dadgum time you do it, dag blabbit.
I can see why people would do. I can see why people
I'm
would do
looking
that.
at. Hey, wait a minute. What's he looking at this one?
But, well, I think it's partially because, like, if I had it right side up like here and I started to do that, I'm covering up a bunch of it.
Uh-huh.
I'm still covering up a bunch of it from here, but it's more so about me showing you where my pin line is.
But that's why I go to turn my. I've been doing it the whole time you've been doing that.
I haven't even
Dang it.
I haven't even paid attention to that, but I'm the same kind of person. I'm wanting to see everything right side up. That's why I always apologize to people.
Got a new fella here that
All right.
you know that I don't know. His name's Cam Boylan. Say, hey, cowboy, it's been years. I called you from Michigan, talked to your dad and you. I was the one that sent you the big clock pattern.
And I think that I lost that pattern in the fire, but I remember you, Cam Boyle. And I appreciate you sending that pattern. I never got around to doing it because of a good old fire, but it's dang good to see you again. That must have been when I was living with my parents in between divorces. I mean, between wives, not between divorces. That came out awkward. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Karen, go hi.
And Herb says he's guilty too for turning his head.
Well, thank God I'm not the only one. I'm glad somebody owned up to it.
I'm gonna get all kinds of lawyer calls and lawsuits for neck.
Crick in the neck, man. I'm
Yeah.
got a crick in the neck. Chiropractor. Need my chiropractor.
That's funny right there. Good to see you again, Cam Boylan. It's been a long time. Okay. Now we have a little bit of light. You can probably see that, a little bit of light showing in front of the earlobe, but there's a unique shadow around it. But we don't want to enclose that light or it'll fall out. So I'm going to come short of it a little bit. And again, we have dark shadows and light shadows. I have to ignore some of them or it'll be a big old cluster. But if you're doing one for yourself, it's up to what you want. But if you're doing it for a customer, get their feedback along the way. And I'm not trying to make fun of people. Well, I'm making fun of, lightheartedly when people say, my arm looks kind of fat there. Can you reduce it? But, I go off what I see. I can't dream up what they're wanting.
Right.
Like, if you have 3 chins, I'm sorry. It's not personal. I'm drawing what I see. That may not translate well, but that's the way it looks in the photograph. And yeah, I actually I didn't have to, but I chose to. I offered a refund the other day. Somebody ordered the video about how to do a basic portrait, and they wanted to learn how to do the computer part, and they were disappointed because I went real fast in there, and that program isn't available anymore. Although I'm pretty sure on the DVD or on the video it says this is just for show. I'm not teaching the computer portion. I'm only teaching the thought processes that go into the other patterns.
Right.
But rather than create drama, I have refunded him. That's why when I start these live streams doing patterns, I am only teaching or showing and teaching the drawing portion. The rest of it is just to show how I clean them up, color them in for public display, but I'm not teaching that part. And I don't know where to attach that line. Yeah, I can go ahead and attach it up here or to the rest of it.
Cam Boylan says, yes, you did finish the clock and posted the pic. You posted the clock got stolen.
Was it one of those Imperial clocks or something like that? I didn't know I finished the clock. I'll be dang. Yeah, I've had everything I own stolen twice in my life.
Lawrence is asking, would a light box with the glass top help with doing shadows? Just curious.
No, sir, it would not, but I can see why you would ask that. But let me show you something. A light box does come in handy if you forget to trace something and you have to re-line up the pattern and everything. So luckily I do have one. So I don't know how well it shows up, but that is a light table. But I use that when I forget to trace something and I have to line up that carbon paper back with the original thing and then the paper underneath. That's when I use a light table. But it does not help me see shadows because it's really just shining through the paper. And I know that doesn't make much sense, but yeah, it doesn't work. Very rarely have to use that, but every now and then I'll forget to trace something. All right. Yes, the Imperial clock.
The
Yes,
Imperial.
that one was stolen. Yep. Okay. Now, I was going to break up the ear detail or outline, but there wasn't anything dark in this area to attach it to, so I just attached it to the rest of the ear. And there's a kind of a unique shaped shadow right here on the cheek that suggests the shape of it, so I have to include that. But there's not a real distinct shape to it, so I'm just kind of wing it, and hopefully it comes out right.
Well, as I can see, it looking at this present time with everything you've done on it already, it still looks just like him.
Well, that's good. Well, at the risk of sounding sarcastic, it's on top of him, so it's going to
I know.
like, okay, you're being a little facetious, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know if this is hair or a birthmark or something along those lines, so I am concentrating on how dark that area is and tracing it as I see it. And same thing here. I don't know if it's a wrinkle or what. And I got real faint wrinkles right here. I brought up earlier. You said you couldn't see, so I'm thinking I can get away with leaving those out. I don't know. I don't know what to do in this area because there is still some darkness, but no definite shape to it. And another reason I do these live streams is to prove to people that these things don't always go 100% smooth through the whole thing. I struggle quite a bit often during patterns. Y'all only see the finished product most times. And since YouTube flagged me earlier, I'm going to make sure they haven't flagged me yet, because I like to be on top of that crap, because they love to take my money. Yep,
Well,
it's
they
being
didn't
held
flag
for
you
review.
before I got here. They sure flag you after. So,
Well, yeah, they. This is what I mean when I say that. Look, held for review.
already?
Yeah.
I've only been here about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why they do that. I've griped to them, but yeah, there's that. So that's being held for review. But wait, am I back on?
You got me and your portrait showing. There we go. Lawrence says he has one like that, your light box, I'm assuming, but also have one I built out of wood with a fluorescent light.
Yeah, that'd be much brighter. Now there's some typical, I don't want to say typical old people spots because that sounds meaner than I intended.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of hair here, so I'm going to suggest the edge of that. Some of this you can barely see, but I know there's hair there, so I'm just connecting that to it. And for now, I'm going to concentrate on the darker areas of the hair, because a lot of times what you're drawing is not really actually hair. You're drawing the space between them, but sometimes you're actually drawing the hair. But usually it's the shadows between them. And there's not a distinct shape there either, because it's a little bit blurry, but we're going to try not to make it too, too dark, because he doesn't have black hair. So I'm being kind of skinny with the detail here. I could probably go a little higher with that, maybe a little bit brittle. And the reason why I'm doing this is as a basic idea on just another portrait to work on. But, you know, some people might want to know the little tricks and trades or whatever you want to call it for doing what we're doing. So even though nobody knows these people except for the person that ordered it, you know, that's why we're doing a live stream out of it. Plus, it gives me a chance to be an attention whore. Look at me. There's not a whole lot of detail to his hair, but there is some. I could probably get away with attaching that. It gets really light up in here at the top of his head, so don't break your neck looking, because it's completely sideways.
I'm doing my best not to pull my head. If I had this bottle in my hand,
That's funny.
Yeah, when you got very little hair like that, and you just got wisps on the top, like most older fellas get, where they go real light.
Yep.
On the top, it's kind of hard to show that in a picture, I would think.
Absolutely. Part of what matters, I guess, if I'm throwing an opinion out there, is the shape of the hairdo more than the. I don't know how to even finish that sentence, because I'm concentrating on how high up and where it parts right there, stuff like that. I'm trying to pay attention to little things like that and hoping that it translates well. The face, in the end, the face is what matters. But little things like some people have unique hairdos, but you can see a unique, what almost looks like a line of hair here, although you can tell it's all. So I'm not real sure how to handle that. There's not much detail at all right here, so I'm just going to kind of do a generic line up here.
By the way, just for general purposes, I finally took a look at Jeff Dunham.
Really?
And Walter. And Peanut and Ahmed and
yeah,
all the ones they have, and I ain't laughed so hard and like that in a long time.
Did you like Peanut? Peanut's my favorite, personally.
I like Peanut. I didn't get to see much of Ahmed on the videos that I did see, but he only had him out once or twice.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of Peanut, and I've seen a lot of Walter. I like Walter.
Yeah, a lot of people like Walter because they can relate to him. I just like him as a Peanut, but you can see full stand-up on YouTube and Netflix.
That's what I looked at it on YouTube. I saw it. Somebody else had said something had a link, so I clicked it, and then that's when I remembered y'all were talking about him. So let me see what all this hype is about. And I enjoyed it. Thank y'all for turning me on to it.
You're welcome.
Because I don't know if I'd ever seen him before. I may have in years past, but I couldn't remember it. So,
yeah, Peanut's definitely my favorite.
Peanut is a character.
He is. That sounded special needs.
Silence! I kill you!
I kill you. I'm trying to, because his hair's so light, I'm trying not to overdo it because it could be overkill, but I have to suggest where lines are.
I was just trying to take your mind off of it.
I know. I don't want to overdo it because if I do I say if I overdo it, I'm overdoing it. So yeah, they call me Captain Obvious. Papa Den says, it looks like you put more hair than what I see on my screen, but when it is drawn, it looks logical. Again, that's exactly what I'm saying, Papa Den. I'm struggling to know what to add and what not because I see it, but if I draw it in there, it could look like overkill. But I see y'all can probably see that somewhat distinct.
Yeah.
I'm trying to suggest the hairline without just doing a big old long jaggedy line. Hopefully that'll make it look more sparse than it is. And Lawrence Aldridge, Jose Jalapeno on his steak. Did you see him? Him and Walter like to give him and Peanut like to give each other crap. Did you ever see Jose Jalapeno on a steak?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I saw that. Forgot that one.
Yeah.
I did see that one a couple times.
And there's Bubba J.
Yeah, I didn't see Bubba J, but I looked at about 10 videos last night, and they were funny. He was good.
Man, I don't know if I like the hair or not, but dagnabbit, it is just the hair, but still. I actually, believe it or not, Charles Deering is going to try to hold off on some detail on her hair because that would be, we could be here for 20 hours doing just her hair.
It is what it is, Charles.
I know. The scary part for her is going to be the shadow above her eyelids behind the glasses. Because that can translate funny, but then again, he sees the source photo. So now we have shadows on the bridge of the nose. I don't know how much of that I want to include. Maybe just suggest the shape of it. And this is something, the customers say, well, that's something looks funny about that nose. So I don't know. It's a toss up. I could probably get away with leaving those out, but I'll let the customer decide. I think we're done with the hair. Don't want to touch the hair anymore, so his face is done. Actually, all of him is done. I think. I'm double checking. So there's that. And the light in her eyes is the exact same as his, as being right there in the middle, so I'm just going to trace them. And I hate it when an important feature like eyes goes right across the seam in the paper, but it is what it is. If you're joining this late, one thing you can do is put just a dot of white paint on the backer that the porter is glued to, if the lights are right out in the middle like that. Lawrence Aldridge is saying to watch the Christmas show with Jeff Dunham.
I'm not sure that I saw that one, but like I said, I did see about 10 or 12 shows last night.
Full shows or just snippets?
No, just little quick snippets here and there. Some of them stand up, some of them he's on like talk shows and stuff like that.
And the top of her eye is right there on the seam of paper, so it can alter the shape as far as me drawing it, but we're going to try to stay on course here. And again, your mind's eye will finish that line from her iris to the edge of corners of her eyes, but you can add a little bit of a line there if you want to help tell the mind's eye where to go. And I might have actually drawn that line a little too high up. Sorry that I'm swapping everything around so much.
It is what it is. You got to do it how you can do it.
I know,
you have to deal with it.
I don't want lawsuits for chiropractors and.
Well, you're upright right now. Once you go sideways, it hurts my neck. You need to watch the whole enchilada. Yes, I guess you're right. I'll pick up some more of them at another time.
Well, if you have Netflix, you can catch a few full episodes there.
I don't have Netflix. I haven't had that in a long time.
That's about all I have. That and Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I do have Prime. I haven't looked at the videos yet, but I got it.
There's quite a selection there.
Yeah. It looked like they've been putting out some pretty decent shows. I haven't watched any of them, but the trailers for them look good.
I haven't watched any of their Amazon original shows, but they do have. If you're watching on a computer, you can have multiple tabs open. But on Netflix, you can only have one Netflix tab open at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. A little nervous now because we're doing that real prominent shadow inside of the glasses here. I'm going by what I can see rather than trying to guess what's there. But I can see that there's an eyelid wrinkle right there. Sometimes I overly worry about things I don't need to. Right this second, I'm having trouble seeing. So I'm going to look at it. And I think we can get away with just tracing it like that. Now, this customer is usually happy with what I come up with, but I don't get them all right. Now, this perfect example, you have a dark shadow and a light shadow. If I try to do all that, it could be overkill. So I'm trying to decide what to do here. This is part of the struggle, my friends. The shadows are there, so maybe just not be as big and bulky with them. I don't know. I have no idea how to do that, but hopefully that'll work. My eyesight is what's affecting some of this. Okay, we have a somewhat distinct eyelid shadow going right across that seam in the paper, but not real bad. I don't know how well that's going to translate. What I liked about what y'all are telling me about Russ Clarity's show is he didn't even hesitate to bring up that name. That's what was flattering about it.
Yeah, somebody had asked him.
Aussie Man Bill.
Yeah, I think it was Aussie Man.
Yeah.
And came right straight out with it.
Yeah, that was flattering. I think Paul Corley said without a doubt, or somebody did that. You know, it's always nice to hear stuff like that.
I can't remember what I always said, but go back and look at it on tape.
The only thing he got right, the only thing he got wrong was saying, make sure you tell them what size you want it, because it doesn't really matter what you tell me you want it, because I'll still have the same amount of detail.
Okay. I thought that, I heard that, and I didn't bother to correct it because I didn't want to change the vibe.
I hear you. But, you know, it wasn't a big mistake of any kind. I was just surprised, you know, because he saw me being Mr. Negative this morning. They probably didn't bring it up, and it was him that brought it up, and so I felt like an idiot. So, you know what? Life's too short. Let's fix this. Let's just hope. Now, we don't want to completely just surround those glasses, otherwise the glasses will fall apart, and that's what I'm trying to be careful of. Although the only thing holding that area together is that little bridge right there, so I may have to alter that at some point. Yeah, I'm going to put a break in there somewhere. She really doesn't have any eyebrows showing, so we're a little bit safe there. It's always a very scary email when you get a response back from a customer saying it doesn't look quite right. You have no idea where to start to finish it, you know, to make it right.
Yeah.
The person asking for the picture knows all their little intricacies or quirks, you know, whatever what the character
right
flaws, for lack of little traits. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. But you know, I can't always see it.
Well, what's going to happen is, you know, sometimes when I do one for somebody, or if I'm doing one just to send it as a gift, they don't even know it's coming. I will take pictures of it next to the original photo and show this is how it turns out. This is what it cuts like based on this photo. And it's up to them whether they like it or not. And I've been fairly lucky in that a lot of the ones I've done come out really nice compared to the original photo, and they can see it
Yeah,
and stuff, you know. And if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work.
I hear
But
you.
so far, I've been lucky.
Well, that's good. Now, what I did here, just to give people an idea, I put a little X and a little line telling me I need to make a break in that line because we don't want it to just hold on there. That's little notes I make to myself when I go to scan it into a computer. Now, luckily, there's just enough light shining off of these glasses I can get away with probably breaking up the shape of those. And I debated whether or not to add the part of the shadow that goes onto her face from the glasses,
Yeah.
but it's there, so let's go ahead and add at least some of it. It may look funny in a scroll saw pattern, but if we're trying to stay true to the photograph. And the results of this may not be for everybody. Now I need to connect that line somewhere. So we'll go ahead and connect it to the bridge of the glasses here. Now because you can't shade in a scroll saw pattern, it's either there or it's not. I don't want her glasses to end up looking black either, but luckily the upper half you can kind of tell we're just suggesting the edge of it. I don't know, it's a little struggle. I'm struggling, bro.
Seems like you've had a lot of practices, boss. You should not be no problem.
I know, but if nothing else, people are finding out tonight that Charles is human. It's been up for debate. I'm not real happy with the shape of those glasses, but I can fiddle with that later. Now that looks kind of out of place, but it's a shadow. There's actually more shadow showing, but I'm afraid it would be overkill if I added that onto the face. And she's also got a shadow on the side of her face. The glasses kind of get lost in, but I'm going to have to ignore some of that. Because even something as simple as the shape of her lenses is unique to her, or frames, whatever you want to call them. Oh, it is a struggle. But there again, he's usually happy with the results, so hopefully he'll be happy with these results. But I gotta connect that line to something, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of a shadow beside it. Is that dog keeping you in line?
Yeah.
Now, although I lightened it up, it's still hard to tell some of the shape of the hair in there, so I'm going to suggest some of it, but not just trace it exact because it's kind of hard to see.
You know, in a case like that, would you just mainly do it based on the outside line of the hair to give it some kind of an idea of what since it's so dark?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be tracing the outline, but there is a little bit of stuff in here, so I'm just going to try to guess at it as I'm tracing it as far as the shape of it. And just the main key being trying to make it suggest the direction of the hair and connect it to other parts of the hair that are inside of there.
Okay.
Because, you know, she probably took time to do her hair. We want that to show up. But we don't want to do too much detail inside the dark area or it won't look dark. And she took the time to pick out these earrings, so we want that earring to be showing. Come on, Ethel, the studio's going to close. I have no idea what their names are. I'm just trying to be funny. Again, real no distinct shape to this. I'm just trying to suggest detail. Lawrence Alter says Charlotte's very good at this. I started looking at photographs and I can't look at the same way anymore, and I'm the same way. Now you know what I mean when I say a picture jumps out at me, because some of them just beg to have a pattern made out of. But
I've noticed that myself.
Yeah.
Every time I turn around, I say that might make a good pattern.
Yeah, even when you start lathe turning, you can't look at a firewood the same. You like, oh, that could be pretty. I don't want to burn it. That's what I went through anyway.
It's funny though, because that's in almost every line of work that you do. Because when I was still working as a mailman, if I was in a city that my wife and I were traveling through, and I would always look down those streets and I'd say, yeah, that's a walking street. You got to get out and walk that way. I said, I ain't never been there in my life, but I'm always thinking like a mailman.
So somebody in a bus there with you saying, what the hell is this problem? That's a walking street. You need to get off this here bus.
Got to get out there and walk that street, by God. Some of them you can drive down, but that one you got to walk.
Yeah. Lawrence is saying he started looking at photos just to spot the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Some shadows are easy to work with. Some of them are give you a little bit of a booger, especially when there's lights and dark shadows at the same time. One of the Native Americans I've worked on had that. We are awake.
Okay, where are we?
What do you mean, where are we?
You finished that side of the head? Now going to the top?
This side, no, I'm going on to the other dark side.
Okay.
I'm going to the dark side.
Ah!
Nah, see what I did there. Now, just a little bit of a shadow cast on her face. It may not translate well, but it's there. Lawrence says he can also do a little leather work. Go ahead.
I was just about to tell you that, and you jumped the gun on me, dog.
I'm sorry.
Paying me for this gig, and you want to take my job.
Well, I mainly need the panel help when I'm screen sharing, because when I'm screen sharing, I'm not on the StreamYard app or site to see the comments pop up.
Okay.
You talk funny.
Mm-hmm. That's what they say about some of us Texans, but I'm not one of them.
Me neither, by God. Not a whole lot of detail in here either on the hair there. We could probably get away with making it completely dark, but I don't want to, because it's not completely dark. I do have tape holding these two halves together, so sometimes things don't show up real well through it. What did I do there? Never mind, I changed my mind is what I did. A little bit of a leg of the glasses going in there.
Laura says, Russ, you ain't getting paid enough. That's what I've been trying to tell him. I need a raise. You should get up off your butt and get on your feet.
And right now in my head, I have that commercial, want to get away.
I'm going to have to say no to that. Some people might take the wrong way.
No, I meant.
I know what you meant.
Me feeling guilty for not being. Okay, don't want to do overkill or underkill. You don't usually hear the term underkill.
No, you sure don't.
Okay, now we have much lighter hair going on, so we want to be a little more careful with what detail we add. Or don't.
So that one, you're just going to go for the shadows, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. See, I learned something.
So you've been paying attention.
I have. Whether you believe it or not, I have.
You might pass the pop quiz. So where do I usually start on cuttings and patterns, Russ?
Eyeballs.
Hey, you've been listening. You get another 0.5 cent raise.
My God, don't ask me no other more questions.
You're at least like 7.5 cents now, I think. Don't ask me no more questions. I don't want to get it to mention.
This is a 1-question quiz. Okay, I'm done. See there, folks? You know, if I'd have known I was going to be asked questions like that, I'd have sat in the back of the class, by God.
I just studied, no, because the people in the back are the ones trying to get away, and the teacher will call on them first.
Now, Russell, since you chose to hide from everybody,
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been called Russell.
Yeah. That's funny right there. At least I didn't call you Mark Meadows this time.
Thank God.
Every time I hear that politician's name, I think of that day. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, says Charles, give him 2 bits. By God, hey, I can go for that. 2 bits.
I don't even know. I forgot what 2 bits.
I think 25 cents.
Something like that.
I used to say that when I was a kid. I used to always hear the old folks talking like that.
Yeah, I never had the guts to ask anybody, what are bits?
I didn't worry about it.
Of course,
you want.
in the UK, bits are a whole different thing, and you don't want to talk about that in family.
Ah, okay.
Far be it from me to be unfamily friendly.
Let me get these dogs taken care of. They're fighting again. Hold on.
All right. Oh, diddly. Okay. You know, I haven't finished doing her face yet, so I might as well get that out of the way. I'm a little nervous about it, but we'll get it. Now, as y'all can see, there is kind of a frown line right here amongst all this shadow, but it tells you it's sticking out a lot for it to create that much of a shadow. So I'm debating on how much of it to trace, because I also want to suggest the frown line itself, which is kind of right there. So I made a little point there to suggest that the frown line is going into there. So hopefully that's going to work. Lawrence Aldridge says that's 14.5 cents, Russ.
I always thought it was 25 cents.
I'll say that tells you how much we paid attention in school. Of course, they didn't usually talk about that in school either.
They ever gave me any bits. Of course, I am still just a young whippersnapper.
Yes, sir, you are. I think you hit puberty like 2 weeks ago, right? Something like that.
Let's see. Today's the 28th. I can count them up now. Let's see. There's 31 days this month, so I got 21 more days for my next birthday, dude.
There's 31 days in January?
I'm thinking it is.
Well, dang it. I suck at remembering all that stuff. I know February.
Pull out that
Yeah, there is 31 days in this month.
My God, I was right.
I should have known that.
21 more days, and I'll be another year older.
Good lordy.
I'm telling you.
I didn't know they stacked poop that high. Sorry. Now, I'm just kidding.
Y'all see how he got to pay me more than 2 bits.
3 bits. All right, there you go. Now, see, here's another example where we have to ignore some of the shadows because it could look like she has humongous nostrils if I were to trace the shadows as I see them. And I'm about to sneeze.
Turn your head.
I'm about to.
Ooh, chew.
Look.
Did I ruin it for you?
Yeah. Because I've never had a sneeze that sounded like chew. Usually,
I know I do the same way.
I think I'm going to somewhat ignore the shadows here and just trace the shape of the end of the nose here. Because if I make them too thick, it could look bad. Really bad. I have to add a little bit of a shadow on this side because it's a little darker. And we have to have some place to drill the pilot hole. So we're going to go with that right there.
My God, that looks just like her.
Well, like... Now, I want to kind of suggest the shape of her nose, so I'm going to add a little bit of a curve here.
Right.
It might be overkill, but it might not be. Well, that sneeze is right there on the edge. I'm afraid to start.
I know it. I didn't delay it. I just took it away from you just for a little bit.
Yes, sir. Okay, she got some distinct wrinkles off the corner of this mouth, or this corner of the mouth. Don't want to make them too thick because she is a dainty little female.
Oh, hell. Lawrence tells me it's 29 days next month. It's leap year. That doesn't matter. My birthday is before the leap year.
Now, when you're dealing with a lipstick like this, it's somewhat dark. You're concentrating on the light shining off of the lips. Everything else will be cut out.
Right.
More so the bottom lip because she barely has any light showing on the top. So I think I can get away with making that all one cutout. Although you can kind of see a little bit of light, I think it wouldn't translate right if I made it too light.
Let me see. I've got a picture that I did of a lady that had, older lady, retired. She had white hair
Mm-hmm.
and she had lipstick on. And I did something similar to what you're talking about with the light on that bottom lip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've showed it to you, but I'm going to send it to you. And then you tell me if I did what you're saying there as well.
Okay.
As soon as I find it.
Well, it also depends on the source photo you're working from because sometimes you only have to work from what you got to work from.
Right. Well, I grabbed this photo off of Facebook. A lady had put it up with her mother passed, and I took it off of there. It looked like a good picture that would make a good pattern and stuff. So that's what I did. And that's not it. I'll get back to you as soon as I find it. It's on my phone somewhere.
All right.
But I lost the question, so you'll have to watch it till they come back.
There's no questions yet. Now her shirt has flowers on it, but I'm not gonna be real worried about how precise I am with the flowers as long as we suggest that they're flowers. But we're coming to the edge of the paper, and she doesn't have a real distinct shadow here, but she does have a shadow there. So I want to somewhat suggest the shape of the chin, but that could make or break it by that one little line. But I didn't want it to look like a fat chin, so I just added a little line there. And I got to not forget that I haven't finished the hair because I jump around a lot. Some shirts just can't be done. They're way too chaotic, but this one's okay. It kind of adds to the beauty and the detail of the poetry. Nails. You're making way too much noise over there, buddy.
Me?
Yeah.
I
I was being facetious. You're not actually making any noise. I was joking.
I know you were. I'm still looking for that photograph. I know I got it. It's not on my phone, so it's got to be on Facebook. This may be one of those I do after the show's over with, for I'll find it.
Just another example of another Native American we can work on at some point. Now this one, this one can be a booger because we have different colors of shadow, so it's going to be a close up. So this may not turn out as good as the other ones did. This hair is going to be a nightmare. But the next pattern related live stream I do will probably be this one. But I might pick another picture because you know how decisive I am. Now, in your opinion, when I was doing that scrollers drill open review, I started cutting on that Steve Good welcome sign. Should I finish that welcome sign since I started it as far as live streams go?
You asking me?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, Charles. Sorry.
I did. I was there for almost the whole thing.
I know people voted for the John Wayne Rooster Cogburn on the horse. Should I just move on to that one for the next cutting live stream?
That's up to you. You're the one in charge.
You're right. I'll go ahead and jump onto that. Unless somebody brings up Steve Goodwin, then I'll come back to it.
But we might like to see a finished product.
Yeah, eventually we'd like to finish. You know, I have to download these videos that I've done on live streams to do the time lapse for the cutting ones, not necessarily the pattern ones.
Mm-hmm.
And the Founding Fathers alone was 10 or 11 live streams.
Wow.
Something like that. So it really tanks my computer when trying to download stuff.
Yeah.
Like that.
Lawrence said he found he has to pick an order to go and get his patterns cut. If I don't, I get lost in the pattern.
Yeah. That's what I mean by forgetting to trace something as far as that goes. If I jump around too much, because it would not have surprised me completely if I had pulled the carbon paper off and realized I forgot to trace her hair.
Yeah, that would be a struggle.
Yeah, I would.
I would never get that right.
That's where that light table would come in handy, and that could happen on a live stream someday.
Well, folks, there's another example that Charles is human.
What?
I wasn't expecting that.
No way.
Let's see.
Are you out of your Vulcan mind?
Yeah, there we
I
go.
said Vulcan, folks. It's family friendly.
Spock, are you out of your Vulcan mind?
I
remember that.
can't take it anymore. But you say I don't sound like people I try to do an impression of. So we'll stop there. Again, I don't want to do too much overkill because we don't want to look like she has dark hair. She has that typical frilly bang stuff, but I can't tell right where they start and end. So it's going to be a lot of suggesting of shape here. I'm totally guessing here. There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing except for just suggesting that there's bangs there. But I guess if we're going to judge the way a couple looks, they're kind of a handsome couple.
There you go.
My God. So if they ever watch this, you're good. I was going to come kick your ass. Look, but. Sorry. Look, Steve. You know, at 2:30 in the morning, working on the Native American, Steve Good popped in the chat.
Oh, is that right?
Buddy, I say, good Lord. That's a special little trait there. They keep some weird hours, too, I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, it's another one that don't know how to sleep at night.
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat.
We're a rare breed, I tell you what.
I mean, there's very few and far between.
I'm the only one dorky enough to do 11-hour live streams, but
Well, now you got to go for 12.
yeah, it won't be on a pattern. Although that you've heard me talk about that Mega Train pattern. That one
Yeah.
took 12 sheets of paper. That was a lot of hours.
Oh, man, I bet.
Leave it to me to tackle something like that again, but it could get really boring to watch. And I tell people that I get that, the average view duration is only like 10 or 12 minutes for my live streams, but that's actually up from 6 minutes in the past. But anyway, but even if you like something, watching it can be like watching paint dry. So I get it.
Right.
A lot of what I'm tracing, besides just the shadows, I'm trying to suggest the directions the hairs are going. That's why you just see these random curls, just so you can tell that there's a bushy thing going on up here. I don't know what's used technical term. The bushy thing.
They call that teased.
Right, yeah, right. Teased, yes.
The hair was teased. Man.
Yeah. Ethel's hair was just teased all over the place.
Don't talk about Ethel.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ethel.
It's too late.
You're gonna kill me. I think he'll be overall happy with this because it's not like we drew devil horns and weird old growths. I'm going off what I see.
Well, so far you're doing a pretty good hair job on that hair of hers. I like the way you delineated the bangs.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every now and then I do something right by, we're going to give you a 6-cent raise right there. No
Oh
more
my
half
God,
cents.
y'all hear me blowing smoke up his butt?
That's funny right there. Where's all our regulars like Josh Grover and Lawrence is here? Herb Hooper's hiding. Herb Hooper likes to hide over there. But
Well, he was there earlier, wasn't
no, I'm pretty sure he's here. He's not one of the more talkative fellers.
he? There he is. Yeah, he's here. He was. Well, speak up if you're still there.
He's still there. I can almost put money on it. Or I could have picked the one time he took one of his twice a year naps.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he's about to come out of the shadows saying, I'm here holding all it down. I don't know why I made him sound like that, but I did.
I ain't seen Steve Nealon yet either.
I know. He's so dependable.
Even if he ain't saying nothing, he's normally around.
Yeah, we were talking about all the T-shirt stuff the other day, and also man Bill went real early this morning and said, when are you going to come out with I'm a Scroll Man hat? And I said, I need to get one of them, but as far as a T-shirt, I was thinking, the little thing with the Scroll Man, play off the Soul Man, and that was the guys with the sunglasses, and I have that self-portrait with the sunglasses, but I don't know how many people would want a T-shirt with my picture on it. But I say that, but out of the 2 T-shirts I sold, one of them was a picture of me doing the pointing thing.
There you go.
Lawrence says, I'll call it a night. Keep them coming. Charles Phrase for all scroll on right there with you, sir. Appreciate you being here. Sorry for stealing your thunder there, Russ. Might have to
That's
do my
quite all right. Good night, Lauren.
quick.
Have a good night. I was watching it. As soon as you started talking, I had my mouth open.
Oh, I'm sure you did. I'm sure, baby.
You're getting on me quick now that you got to pay. Evidently, you want your money's worth.
I got this little pen blanket and you own it.
I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't got no leave no more.
Big old silver dollar with a hole in it.
That was a good one.
Thank you. It happens every now and then. All right. I think the hair's going to turn out halfway decent.
Yeah, I think so.
Of course, I'm not done yet. Give me a chance. I might just figure a way to screw it up.
No,
Now, let's be confident, by God.
I mean, I think even I could get that hair done.
That's a vote of confidence right there. Hell, even I can do it. Boy, you screwed up. Something wrong with you.
My God, you better get it right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is your average sleep schedule? I mean, when do you tend to wake up and tend to go to sleep? I know it's not consistent.
It ain't. When I was working off for the last 30 years at the post office, I would go to bed late and get up early to go to work. I used to sleep an average of 3 or 4 hours a night and get up and go to work. And it took me a little minute to get woke up when I went to work, but after I got going, I was good. But that's always been my way. I've always stayed up late, and I've never been a day person. I've always been a nighttime person. And that comes from probably working graveyard shifts in the oil field before I went in the post office, and I've got used to it.
You worked on oil rigs?
I did a little bit of that, but I mainly worked shore base. I was the one that run the crane out there to go out and load all the stuff for them.
You didn't have to be one of those roughnecks that was
I wasn't. I started out as, we wouldn't call it a roughneck. We called it a roustabout on shore base, but it's the same thing. We didn't on the rigs. They did all the roughnecks did all the actual work and doing all the drilling and stuff. And I wasn't that. I was a crane operator on shore, where when they needed pipe or chemicals or equipment, I was the one that would go out there and with my crew and load it up for them on the boats and send it out to them.
And if they got sassy, you just dropped it a little high.
I have done that a time or two, but not often. Not very often. I was a pretty decent guy,
Well, that's
and
good.
I went offshore. I don't know, once or twice to work on a rig out there, but it was just in relief of somebody else. It wasn't my particular job.
Yeah, the only oil rigs I've ever seen were land based.
Right? That's it. They work the same way,
Yeah.
exactly the same way. But I enjoyed my time out there. But I even to this day, I miss running a crane. You know, every time me and the wife or me and the wife or the kids are in the car when they were younger, we'd be driving somewhere and we see a crane off on the side of the road.
You
I said,
shed a tear.
I can run that thing, man. I can run that. They don't believe me, but I could. I could. And I told her, I said, yeah, I miss doing it, but I don't miss doing it for a living.
Sure, honey, and you can whip all 10 men on it too, huh?
I have done some stuff in my time, but I got to the post office and that was all she wrote.
And no, he would never went postal. He gets a case of the red honey, but he doesn't go postal.
Pretty much.
And nobody's ever asked him if he went postal when they found out he was a postman. It's usually only the first question they have.
Oh man, I you know, if I had a nickel for every time I've heard that little saying, it's unbelievable how many times I've heard that.
You'd be richer than I'm paying you.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, you could collect cans on the side of the road, be richer than I'm paying you. Okay, don't run off on me yet. All we got left to do is technically her shirt. So tell your wife, I cannot go till Charles is done with this one. Okay, I have spoken.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it
The
here.
last words you ever hear, but yeah.
Okay.
And I try to reuse the tape at least a couple times, so I am careful in taking it off. La-di-da. That's professional Hollywood music right there. La-di-da.
Hey, did y'all hear that, folks?
Yeah, buddy, recorded.
Hey, dinner
Gotta
in a
go.
movie.
Gotta go viral. Dinner in the movie. I want my money back.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, you're almost done.
I read this stupid paper. It's terrible. What have I done? I cannot produce.
There it is. There it is, folks.
Thank
He's
you.
hiding,
Thank you.
he's hiding it. They still look just like him.
If you're being sincere, then that's awesome.
I am.
Yay. Okay.
I'm serious. I like it.
Unfortunately, they have bodies too, so I have to add hers in there.
By God, you have to at least give her a finish her chin.
Oh my God. That's funny right there. I'll tell you what. Look at there. Boom, like nothing. This is my most popular design. I have copies all over the world. It's called
My
Blizzard.
God, I have some here too.
And all kinds of sizes and colors and stuff.
I keep them in a bag to keep them getting damaged.
God, if I could have just copyrighted white paper, I'd be so rich right now. My butler
Oh,
would be
yeah.
doing this.
You wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
Hey, Jeeves, come over here. Yes, mom, so tall.
Can you imagine Jamie Page as your butler?
No, hell no.
Or your valet, I say, your valet.
He'd be the first one to protest. No, I'm glad I had this. Is my last sheet of carbon paper, and it's not even the same shot as a sheet of paper, but hopefully we can make it work. Because I can draw in a suit if I need to. I'm going to make sure the right side is. I hope I have more carbon paper somewhere. Pretty sure I do. Because I tend to buy them in bulk.
You get them off Amazon?
Yes, Cedar Rock Enterprises
Ah,
is the company name on Amazon that I get it from. It's the darkest I have found anywhere on earth.
hmm.
I like dark carbon paper. That sound you made like you bit your tongue or something. That's funny, right? That's how you can tell when somebody bit their tongue is their mouth shoots open like as far as it'll go. That's funny right there. Let's see, we're only going to be tracing this area right here, so that ain't going to take too long, by God.
I was in the process of counting up all the last comments, and probably about 15 or 16 of them, the last ones are all Lawrence.
Yes.
And he's gone.
Everybody done run off.
What are we going to do?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Wife's coming. I may have to leave.
Oh, poop.
Let me see. I'll let you know in a little bit.
Okay. Break it to me gently. Break it to me gently. Karaoke with Charlie, baby.
I'm sorry, folks. He only wants singers on the panel, and I'm not one of them.
Well, apparently, I'm not either. What did I do with my razor blade? You moved my razor blade.
I did not.
Oh, you did too. I'll tell you what. I'm just cutting off stuff that don't need to be there because we don't need extra stuff hanging off. He does have a top of his head. Just take my word for it. Break it to me gently. I don't know why American Idol did not want me. Cam Bolin says, stay all here, by God. He likes train wrecks. I appreciate you.
Well, I'm glad to see another name.
Yes. All right. We're going to zoom right through this because there ain't a whole lot of precise detail. Now, the computer part does not take near as long as this drawing part. And we've got to be careful of how we trace this so that it's not overkill or underkill, because underkill is going to be a word for us today. Daniel Davis says, don't worry, I'm here for a minute. LOL. Appreciate you.
Glad to see you. Glad to see anybody.
At my age, it's glad to be seen, I tell you what.
I said that at the beginning of the show. Bulldozer.
Oh, Stanger.
There you go.
Bulldozer D10. My God, it must be somebody I paid a lot of money. He says, thanks for sharing, giving back to the community. Well, thank you very much. I've never seen your name before, but I really appreciate that. That sounded like a setup. I can't prove that I didn't pay him to say that.
I know. That's why I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Now I'm waiting for 30 women to come in here. Will you marry me? And now I know it looks like a setup. Am I unpunked? Am I a candid camera?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bulldozer. I didn't mean to minimize your compliments, sir.
Cam says, you can't see me. No, I can't.
You can't see me?
Only when you're talking.
I'm in the spirit world. Only when you're talking.
Well, he's on Facebook.
Oh, that's
The
true.
only way I can see him is if he's saying something.
All right. I need a swig of Dr. Pepper just because.
Don't you do it?
Don't you do it.
Now, Bulldozer says I get back to the community. See, y'all want a drink? Y'all want a drink? She's got a little bit of Charlie spit right in there. But
Oh, thank you. No, thank you.
all right.
Don't do it.
Ha, got it down quick.
Bulldozer D10 says, I've watched your videos for a long time. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Or ma'am, I don't know your gender. Or be it for me to assume I made that mistake once. Somebody named Andy was a girl, and I said, thank you, sir. I'm female. Sorry. No, she was gracious about it.
Well, it can go either way, but when they got an I on the end of the name, it's more likely a gal.
Well, I don't use my brain. Come on now.
Your 2 cells were occupied?
Yes, sir. Just being conscious is 1.5.
Yeah.
I wish you lived closer. You might get tired of me, but dagnabbit.
I need friends.
Oh, no.
I know.
Well, that old Jerry Brown's close enough to you.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, I didn't mean to minimize that, but he lives about 30, 45 minutes away, as does Michael Chipster.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Davis says, LOL. That's probably most of what we're saying, so I'm not even asking what he's laughing about because we're not. We're like
Definitely us.
we're like Laurel and Hardy and stuff.
Yeah. And I'm a little fatter and a little rounder than him, so I got to be. Which one is it? Laurel.
I don't remember who was who. To be honest with you,
Shit, I can't remember either.
we're gonna pretend you didn't just say a word, dirt.
I know it. I know
All right.
it. When
Now,
I
man.
said it, I looked at the time. I thought, well, they all kids ought to be asleep.
You're right. It is 11:30 at night, but we might have to take.
Yeah.
We have to take $5 off your hourly pay. You didn't know it was that
I'll
high.
be paying you.
I was going to be surprising you with that $5 raise, but you didn't believe it.
If I got $5 to give back to you, I'm gonna have to pay you.
I wish I could pay you. I mean, I know you don't require it, but I like to give back. God, because hell, being associated with me publicly can be dangerous. If you want a reputation, be careful. Come on now.
I really don't give a rat's butt what anybody thinks.
Rats be honey. By God,
That's
man.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, look, my video's still being held for review. Go figure.
Quite naturally.
Mother hooty doody.
If I hadn't been here, they wouldn't have done it to you.
Well, you just don't never. Hell, they flagged me one time before the video even started.
I remember that.
I couldn't much believe that.
Family friendly, Daniel. Yes, we are.
Yes.
I don't care what nobody says.
As much
Family friendly.
as much of a train wreck as we're having here, folks.
If it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes things happen.
Yes, sir. And that's how I was born. No,
I didn't expect that out of you, Charles.
I didn't either. It kind of just came out. I never know what I'm going to say. If anybody, there's only 6 people watching now, but if anybody is watching and does have any comments or questions, tell us to get back on track and ask that question. And that's one way to get us back on track.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No promises how long it stays on track, but we try.
Oh,
That's funny right there. I tell you what.
I'm about at the bottom of my jug, man.
Word.
My jug of peach Snapple. That was a good one this time.
My God. No
Yeah.
bitter aftertaste or nothing.
No. I poured out 2 half-gallon jugs because it didn't taste right. But this one was excellent.
That ought to be a crime.
I mean,
You got two guys over here to be talking funny. Daniel Davis says, I wouldn't care neither if anyone has an issue with what's going on. They can just watch something else. My God.
I tend to agree with him.
Go watch Scroller's chat. Sorry.
Oh, shoot.
That was a little rude. I'm sorry. That was ruder than I needed to be.
It was, by God, but it was funny. That man ain't going to never let me on that show.
I have issues. But I will say on Saturday nights you can check out Dave Gatton's show. Now that I'm trying to think of it, I can't think of the name of it. But Russ is a CNC guy, so he can tell us. And if you can't tell, that's embarrassing. You're on the spot.
Just go on YouTube and search out Dave Gatton, G-A-T-O-N, and you'll find it.
Gatton, and also
CNC with Dave or something like that.
also on Saturday nights. Even if I'm doing a live feed, if you would rather have a root canal, go watch. Wait, that didn't sound right. If you're watching my live stream Saturdays and you don't like the way it's going and it's boring the crap out of you, go check out Let's Talk Shop with Russ every Saturday night.
Yep, they work at the same time.
Sometimes I don't plan my live streams ahead of time more than about 10-15 minutes, but I do believe that Dave Gatton show and Let's Talk Shop with Russ is on at the same time. I'm not sure. I don't keep up with what times they go come on.
They are. They're on at 8 o'clock Eastern.
Eastern.
Yeah. 7
All right.
o'clock Central.
Good to know. That's Let's Talk Shop with Russ. He usually has a panel people, sometimes Jim Brashears, Al Forte, Paul Corliss, Paul's Messy Workshop, Russ Flaherty, of course, of Simply Wooden Creations. Who else? Katie Dotson every now and then.
Chris Ahern,
Yeah, Old Cranky Workshop.
Cranky Walker, and myself.
And Mr. Russ Midos.
That's for scrolling. Now, if you want CNC related,
Dave Getting
with Dave Gatton, CNC with Dave on Saturday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central.
And above all, take that drink. Look at you. It's funny. Only I can see you, and you pointed right to the camera. I love it. He went scrolling.
I did.
That's the right there.
And I'm empty.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, I'll try to tough it out.
We're almost done with the shirts. Don't run off now.
Danny says I
I'll say shirt.
don't have issues. Yeah.
People
all have
cancel their subscription to my issues, by God.
Everybody has issues.
Yes. Some people do it intentionally because they're weird.
Oh, you're almost done, man.
Yeah, so all I got left to do is little flyers. Little flyers there. You
Yes.
see little flyers?
See, there, people don't understand when he talks like that, what he's actually saying, but I knew instinctively.
You won't tell Bubba what?
Flyers. He's talking about flyers.
So you said it just like I did. It means
I know, because that's how I say it.
flowers.
Flowers.
Flyers. You know,
Flyers.
flyers.
Flyers. You know, like you hang on the store window. Flyers.
You know, them,
Come on now. Come on. Get back on it.
you get them flyers there, and you know you stack them in the ground, and come on now.
You get them flyers out there, and you're looking for the bees. You're going to land on them.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm getting real random with these because there doesn't have to be a whole lot of detail because we want to stay true to the photograph, but it's still about their faces more than anything.
Right.
And so I'm just really rushing them, although still trying to stay on the line. Because I know nobody wants to see this part. Well, maybe they don't. But how do you deal with detail on a shirt? Okay, so maybe they do want to see. So I'm just trying to make them not be floaters. So I'm going really quickly so y'all don't run off yet because you still get to see the computer part. Now, how did you let yourself go empty? That is a mortal sin.
You know, I came in here with a low bottle. I think the folks that say they're normal have more issues, Daniel said.
I would agree, but that could make me lose more subscribers.
So he won't agree, but I will.
I've actually gained 4 or 5 subscribers the last couple of days. Yay! They're coming back. Are you calling me or the dog?
I put my thumbs up.
Oh, I didn't see that. I was looking down at my pet
See
hair.
there? That's what you get for not watching the
I'm
thumbnail.
sorry. I'm busy doing all this hair stuff.
Oh, so you the important stuff. Okay, I got you.
I'm sorry. What kind of man does not prep to have more drinks ahead? Especially on a live stream, it drives people to drink.
Well, let me go out on a limb and let you know that when I came to this computer tonight, I didn't know that I had a link from you till I got here.
Always expect a link.
I didn't know it.
You were way behind on your daily dose of torture, so I had to throw you another link.
Throw me a lifeline.
We're almost done with this side of the shirt. It was more of a vest, if I'm being honest. Very nice floral design. My name is Blaine. I don't know who you're talking about.
I was thinking of Tommy. What's his name? Tommy Gunn.
What are you talking about?
He does that runway show.
God only knows what you've been watching, but I don't watch no runway shows.
Tommy Gunn. He was a famous dude. But he sounded like him just then. That's why I was asking.
My God.
Not now, you don't.
Well, I'm sorry. As you can see, I'm rushing through this relatively quickly because I don't want to run anybody off. Well, I don't want some Trace winners.
You are going to do all of them or just some of them?
I'm doing every by God one of them, but we're almost done with this side already, I tell you what.
Yeah, man.
By God, I'm a bionic flower drawer, dude. That was the official title. I have issues.
Hey, Daniel, I think we've discussed that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're already recycling topics.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did I butcher that one too?
A little bit.
Hey, Kool-Aid. I like Kool-Aid.
Well, just look at it. The other side don't have that many.
No,
Look at there.
there's only a few flyers.
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 That's what I said.
I
Flyers.
know, flyers.
Flyers.
Not road flares, they're flyers.
I didn't say flares. I said flyers.
Good God, we're a train wreck waiting to happen.
I mean,
But I'm fun doing it. Or see, I can't talk right. I'm having fun doing it. That's what I meant. I'm fun doing it.
oh, jeez.
I tell you what.
How many we got looking now?
On the, we got 7 people watching. There are 2 on Facebook and 5 on the YouTubes.
I sure wish somebody would ask a question.
Maturity is not required to be here, but a sense of humor is.
There
least-
we go.
At least for you to appreciate it more. But on a serious note, I do answer questions, and I wasn't this weird this morning by myself.
No, it wasn't. It was all my fault.
You bring out the worst in me.
Oh, Lord, I don't know how I do it. It's my God-given talent.
You're welcome.
Oh, I lost the chat, so anybody ask, I can't tell him what you
Well,
said.
there's a whole rush of them. You just missed about 7 left. But they all say the same thing. Unsubscribe, unsubscribe. Okay.
Charles is all right, but that sidekick he's got, he's weird.
Sidekick might be why they stick around.
I'd like to sidekick.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. There's 2. Where'd they come from? Same ones. Daniel, I'm here for the patterns and scroll saw work, so I'm also here for the BS.
And I take that as a high compliment. Thank you, sir.
Oh, hell. Well, this one answered the question that why is the sky blue? That's for you, Charles.
Because it's reflecting off the oceans. Wait, because it's depressed.
There you go. The final answer.
That was the poetic answer. The sky is blue because it's not with you. Oh.
Oh.
Now you'll think we are done, but we are not done. Yes, we are, because we didn't trace any of this, so we got the suit. But we do need to suggest the edge of her shirt here. And if I'd have forgotten that, that would have stank.
It would have. You're right.
By God, we right now are done with the.
Daniel has a question.
Yes.
What do you do with the patterns from portraits like what you're working on now?
I file them away or throw them away once I know that they have received them, because that does me no good to keep them.
Exactly. One-off portraits.
Yes.
Once it's done, you have no longer
Yeah.
any need for it.
Now, if anybody asks for a custom finished piece, I'll keep that pattern around in case, my dad's roommate's mother wants one, that kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, so I'm checking real
Right.
quick. All right.
All right, folks.
We can do
Wow. Did you see how he ripped that off? He's
I
sure.
got with grace right there. I tell you what. Now,
So sure.
don't y'all be to running off yet, because what we're gonna do here, we're gonna do the computer part. Y'all get to see it all colored in and all pretty like.
All right. The easy part.
Easy-ish, but
Yeah.
it reveals how many mistakes I made.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, and I've said this to you before. Whenever you think it's just tracing that anybody can do that,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't true.
Well, queer.
It is definitely not true because I followed his videos and I did his stupid rhino just like he did.
Stupid right.
And by God, mine looked nothing like his.
It looked like a sperm with legs.
It
Sorry.
was horrible.
Sorry.
I couldn't. You think it's just tracing a line, but it ain't.
All
You
right.
have to have that eyeball. So
Here's where you're
Okay,
getting your
go
money
ahead.
worth, because I have to screen share to do the scanning part, and I won't be able to see them their questions where they're flooding. Ask me to get off the internet.
all right,
I'm
My
gonna
God.
need you.
on the line.
Yes, sir. All right, we can get rid of that.
Hello,
We can get rid of that. That is our source hotel.
yes.
Wait, I want to also. What I want to do? We want to have this for the wood grain version. What else? What else? What else? That's it. But we do want to fire up the old Scanair.
Danny says, "Don't worry, I won't run off because I'm sitting in a chair."
Well, all right.
There you go.
I got
Oh,
issues.
oh, damn. There is Russ. Yeah. Quick, cover me up. Oh, never mind. I'll do it.
Who said, "Oh, dang, there's Russ"?
Daniel.
Well, he's been there a while. He just now figured out she was here.
Well, I was just this disembodied voice for a long time.
Right. Am I not screen sharing?
Well, yeah. Now you're showing me on the camera.
No, I'm showing my desktop. I thought.
You are.
Then how
But
you?
I'm on the side.
Oh, you're off to the side. Right.
Well, I'm always on the sidelines, buddy. I never get in the game.
You just keep that water cooler full and hush.
Adam Sandler, call me the water boy. Oh.
I tell you what, we are having too much fun here.
I blame that on Daniel. Daniel started that.
Yeah, you.
Ooh, hold on a minute. Wipe the crying out of my eyes.
Wipe the crap.
Oh, Lordy. All right. Here we go.
Sound like a country song, wiping the crying out of my eyes.
Hey, that sounds like a good one. I'll get you that right one.
There's an ear in my beer.
Go ahead.
That's all I can think of. I wasn't prepared to be encouraged to go on. I'm usually encouraged to cease.
Danny says, I know the voice, laugh out loud. I'm just saying that because he's in the video now. The disembodied voice.
That's funny right there. I'm going to tell you what.
Danny says, because I'm crying for my dear. I have an ear in my beer because I'm crying for my dear. There you go. I know you can make something with that.
Excuse me.
Oh, shit. If I didn't know better, I'd swear he was a drinking man, but I know he ain't.
If I was a drinking man.
Hey, there you go. See there?
I give myself a bottle of year mystery. And I date your sister. That's drunk karaoke right there. I tell you.
All right. We almost got a picture there, folks.
Yeah, what? We're going to get there. I'm going to tell you what. My God. Let me zoom in here so I don't cut off too much. Getting rid of these here lines where the edge of the paper was. Get out of my way, you little banner thingy. My God. In this history. Oops, don't want to cut off too much. If I was a drinking man, keep myself a bottle and
Hit you over the head with it.
okay, well now what we gonna do here? We're gonna zoom in real close like. Use this here eyedropper. This is not the teaching portion. I'm just explaining what I was doing. We're using what we call a color replacer. Replacing the dark color with the light color. So that when I color it in, it'll all be one, whatchamacallit. Who's or what's it? You know what I mean? Come on now. All one color. One shade of gray. Are you still there? Did I lose
Yes,
you?
sir. Yes, sir. I was looking for that stupid picture and I still haven't found it. Oh,
It's right here on the screen.
that's not the one.
I'm just trying to be funny.
Charles Daniels, I know the song Charles is singing. Hank Williams Jr., correct?
Tear in My Beer, yes. If I Were a Drinking Man was Neil McCoy. But I think it might have been a remake of somebody, but I don't think it was Hank. I don't think all I ain't done it this way. Now, what we are going to do, I'm going to go in and dot in those eyes right there. Oh, that is not big enough. Oh, my word. I'm going to make sure the light in the eyes is accented, just for the sake of placing them on the backer. A dot on the backer.
Just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Now watch when that's all the questions and comments are going to flood in. Now, I told you all about that X I did earlier. It means I want to break up this line right here so it's not so brittle. And we'll just add a little shatter. Shatter is the pronunciation. of shadow. Now this is where the two sheets of paper came together, so I'm connecting these lines here. Again, I'm not teaching the computer portion part, just explaining what I'm doing. And I go across to make sure there's no more breaks in the line. But since we fixed that and color it, we need to color it in. Now it looks a little bit crappy up close because it's up close. No art is meant to look at real close. And come across here, make sure we don't have any more breaks. And we don't need that little 1 feet line right there. Whoops, a little too low. Okay, now we're going to attach the two halves.
Thank you, Daniel. Glad to be back.
1151. What am I doing?
You're attaching two halves.
I'm looking down here in the lower right-hand corner. I need to double the width or double the height. So it's 3,300 by 5,100. File, new. Oh, I already had it there. Good. I was good thinking, Charlie. Okay. Edit copy, but you could also do Control C. But edit paste or Control V. Now I'm being mindful of where it goes off the edge, so I'm going to zoom in. Get out of my way, man. Whoops. Oh, I thought I unselected. That would have sucked. Think we're good there. We're going to add that there upper half. Edit. Copy. Edit. Paste as transparent selection. Boom, bippy. It's all going to come together, I tell you what.
And there you go. Look at there.
We're going to get there, and then we're going to cropify it. Cropify is not a real word. It's a Charlie word. We want to connect them there two halves. Ish. No, see, it lined up over there, but not over there. I hate it when that happens. That means sometimes I just got to invent detail. What the heck? See how it's lined up on the left, but not the right? That is just weirdified.
Look at your original.
Well, no, the original ain't going to help me. That means something didn't come in. I can adjust because there's not that much to work with, but okay. According to here, it needs to come down, so that little flower can be attached to that little flower. I didn't mean to unselect that. Where are we at? That's weird. I hate it when that happens because I scan them in at the same size. It kind of lined up. We can work with that. Selection, select none. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now we're going to crop it, and then we'll name it, and then we'll color it in, and it'll just boom bippy right off to the side. Where 99.
Asking, where'd the video go? I can hear you.
Seriously?
That's what Daniel's saying. And Cam said his battery's dying. He's good morning, night. Great typing to you all.
Great typing to you all.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you being here. I don't know what's happening with you, Daniel. I hope you're not. I hope you're the only one. No offense.
I can still see you.
I'm sorry.
Gonna
name it that way. If I have to redo things, then there's that. So I'm gonna check for broken lines, and then it'll color it in 90 to nothing. Won't take long, don't you worry. There's the dang upper lip you were so worried about.
Yep. Well, I knew you were going to split it in the middle.
Yes,
But I didn't see that you had colored in the upper portions of the lip right before the split on either side.
Yeah,
And you had, but I couldn't tell it from where I was looking.
yeah.
Jander said, just kidding. I can still see the
There's a
video.
butt monkey.
He's a butt monkey. I had my mind to say that, and you took my thunder.
I saw her. Not funny, by the way. Yeah,
I
I
know.
remember this was light colored hair, so I'm gonna take off that little piece there. It
He
makes it
says
look
it-
too dark. Go
He
ahead.
says it's hard to mess with you on here.
Yes, sir, it is. But you sure tried, don't you, mister? Okay, now if you see the off-white areas, that's why I scanned it in not completely bright white, because the off-white means that there's no breaks in the line, so there's no lack of confidence in coloring it in.
Wow. See, folks?
Bippy. I'm going to tell you what, by God. Now, I'm going to check for overly crowded areas, and this is a little narrow on her curl here. Sometimes I don't do this part real well. That's why you see some of my patterns.
How on God's green earth you supposed to cut that, boy?
Well, I've said that many a time.
And now the secret comes out. I'm just very quickly glancing, looking for white areas. Usually it's where, like, things like this, where this didn't line up perfectly, but that's all right. We're going to fix that in a jiffy. And we're going to, settle that. By God. La-di-da-di. We're going to potty. Oh, sorry. I'm a singer. You want to see his suit pop?
Yeah, put the
Boom!
black on it. Look at there.
Something don't look right with that. Oh, well, it's just a suit. Yeah, I probably should have added the tie, but man, what can you do, eh? All right, we're going to do it. Get ready to do it. Good Lord, I got all kinds of air situations going on, so let me...
Well, as long as it's up that side, we're fine.
Yes, sir. Family friendly.
I know it. I didn't take it no further.
No, I was talking to myself.
John Daniel says he's just curious. Why don't you use a lighter color like gray when printing the pattern out? It would save on ink.
I do.
He does.
I don't know where he's getting that. I do print them out gray.
Yep. And there you go.
And the reason why I do gray instead of black is some people, the blade gets lost. If they are adhering the pattern to the line, the blade gets lost in the black line. What I'm doing right now is what they call a color replacer. In some areas I'm just using the fill tool, but it's eventually going to make everything pop and be all the same shade of gray. There's a lot of white on there. 251, that might be too low of a tolerance, but we shall find out. Let's move it down to enough, and if it still makes it gray, no, we're good. Yeah, it's going to fill some of that, but yeah, as we go, you can see it start to come alive. I hope. I probably should have added his tie in there because that looks really empty over there, but I don't think it'll be a deal breaker. Hopefully.
That stinking dog wants back in. Just a second.
I'm sorry.
She's over there whining. I'll be right back.
All right. If anybody's commenting or questioning, I cannot see it because I'm screen sharing and cannot see the display screen. I'm not real thrilled. I probably should have added that tie because it looks so empty. Whoops. That's just not good. going to save that in case I do that again. Lower tolerance, 1. Again, the tool I'm using in this Paint Shop Pro 4, which is not made anymore, is a color replacer. Again, this is not the teaching portion of the video. It's mainly just to show y'all. I hear sound effects. You cannot sneak up on me, mister.
My wife's got a tablet sitting over there. I don't know what it was doing.
It was tablifying, duh.
I should have. You youngsters have all these words. I just don't know.
I was making it up as I go, so most people
good.
don't know.
I'm glad I didn't
say.
know it. I didn't think I was the only one. Yeah, it starts beeping. I don't know what she does. She does crazy things. We have Alexas. I'm not going to go into that. We have Alexas all over the house, and I have one beside the end table on my couch where I sit and watch TV when it gets real late at night. And she'll all of a sudden my light will just turn off. I say, "Oh God, turn my light back on." She's way in the bedroom, turning my light off on the other side of the house because they have an Alexa plugged into it. Crazy.
Now, see, that hair could have been darker. I was worried about overkill, and I probably could have gone darker with the hair.
Just a little bit on the sides there.
Up here and over here.
Yes, sir. Now, would you, after you've done it like this, would you ever go back and adjust it on screen to make it darker by drawing in some more jagged lines and then closing it?
I could, but it'd be probably kind of boring for people here.
It might. I'm just wondering, have you ever had the option to do that?
Yeah, because desperate times bring desperate measures. Now, don't y'all freak out yet. Wait, I forgot to color in everything. The areas that are white, they're supposed to be gray, because that was where it was on the. I was going to show you how to get rid of those specks, but let's go ahead and color in the Hoosier Watchet. Man, I really should have added that tie. There's like no detail on his suit at all. I'm plumb ashamed.
Have you take a white line, just to take your thing and delineate a line down the side of his jacket, where the tie and the jacket meet?
Well, I think what I can
to a certain degree that would delineate that it is a tie. Would that make a difference?
It probably could, but I don't know if people want to sit through. I think another thing I'm going to do is reprint it out and also trace where the collar is overlapping the suit as well as the tie. See the collar comes down through here, but I don't think people want to see that unless I resize it exact, which is possible.
From my own attention, I wouldn't even bother with that.
Well, I mean,
to my own side, in the picture, you can't really see it that I'm looking at.
Whoops! Why did that do that? I was hitting the wrong one. So here's how we're going to fix all those little specks in there. But yeah, I am disappointed. I should have added the tie, which I can do later. It's going to take. It's nothing that would excite the viewers. Okay, now you see how we have the white specks left over. Here's where we get rid of them. Boom, baby. Just a sec. I've got to color the whites in the eyes so that those don't disappear. What color do I want to make them? Let's make them glow in the dark green because they could be zombies. You don't know. Because I'm using that color replacer and I only want to make all the white specks that we don't want in there. We want them to be gray. All right, now we can do the color change thing and it'll all be all nice and clean and not speckledy. Yeah, stuff like that hair being darker in one area and stuff like that. I can do that off screen. It just people will know that I'm going to be doing that. No more specky specks. Now we need to go in and fix the green dots. What are you trying to do with the green eyes there, man? But I missed some specs, but oh well. One way we can fix that is edit image special filters. The speckle. Boom, bippy. There's very few specs now. Whoops. Why didn't they go off of there? Come on now. I just noticed a very, very thin line that you did not point out to me. You failed again today.
Well, let's see. Tell me where I failed first.
Right where I'm fixing. It was touching the edge, but yeah, there's that. So.
Well, I didn't fail because I would have put it there in the first place.
That's a good save. Now, I'm gonna try
But this is not.
I'm going to try
the Rush show. It's the Charles show.
This is true. I am going to try in real time to one of the other shortcuts I use rather than trying to draw things in. If I can get the sizing right. I feel like I need to add that color and stuff to add the dimension. So what I'm going to do, okay, you see, we are going to resize this to the exact same size as the pattern. And I got to write this number down because little things like this I'm popping to, man. It won't make any sense to y'all, so I'm not even going to bother. And we go to 0. Yes. We want it. No. Baby. What are you? Oh. Looking at the number in the lower left-hand corner, we want it to be at 0,550. No, too far. Come on now. There we go. Now what I am doing here is, are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. I'm on the edge of my seat, man.
I tell you what, I can't barely sit here. Anyway, now you're just gonna be somewhat generic, but it's gonna work. It'll help with the jacket at least. The hair I'll have to do on my own. Now right about there is what we're looking for. And that number is 1332. Looking for 0, 1332. And if we're at 2, 1362. I should probably zoom out to do this. But we're going to get as close as we can anyway. I'm not going to mess with all the pinstripes because that's just overkill.
Yeah.
2 more pixels away. Nope, jump to 5s. Of course, we got to zoom in. Poop. Sorry for my gutter language.
Not as bad as it could have been.
Yes. Come on now. We're so close. There we go. Yay! Now what we are doing here, we are right there. Now, we look at the size of this one. We want the other one to be that size. This is what I do in a pinch when I don't feel like lining papers back up. I got to move this thing out of the way again. This is 15, look in the lower right-hand corner, it's 1578 pixels by 2178 pixels. And we're going to resize this one to the same size. Image, resize 1578 to 2178. Go. Now that one made the exact same size as this one, so we're going to get rid of this one. And all we are simply going to do is use a very prominent color, like glow in the dark zombie green. And we're going to trace the things we want to keep. And for me, it is, it's hard to see. I got light reflecting off the screen. Let me make the line much bigger. Let me see how big I want to go. Let's try 10. I'm just seeing that. No, that's still too narrow. Edit, undo. Let's go 30. A little severe, but we'll go with it. Okay, boom, boom, and I can change the shape of this if need be. This is very generic. But this gives us some kind of detail in there if he wants it. That way, if he doesn't want it, he can just leave it out. And I can get the angles out of there. And we're going to be a little more careful with the tie, I guess. So let's do 20, maybe, possibly. A little too thick, but we'll go with it. Are you still there, my friend?
I'm watching bated breath.
Okay, we'll get that bait out of your mouth. Come on now.
Daniel said it's after midnight, so no more family friendly. And
Oh, God.
Dennis is here, Wood Den.
Hello, Woodden. He said he can never get the time right on these live streams. I'm not saying that. He said that to me earlier. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, you're going to see, I'm going to do the color replacer on this hair. This ain't going to help on the hair that I booped, but I don't think I got the hair that far off. We're going to do, a lot of the script's going to disappear. Bye, boom, bippy. Boom, bippy. That's the official magic word is boom, bippy.
Wood Den says, hello, Charles.
Howdy do, mister. Edit to the copy. Okay. Wait, did I do copy? Edit copy. And then selection, select none. It's probably going to help a whole lot, but it gives it some dimension. Edit, paste as transparent selection. Now that's not a lot of detail, but it gives dimension. It may look kind of generic, and I'll just tell them, you're welcome to leave that off if you want to, but I wanted to give them the option. But it tells you where the tie is, and it tells you where the
lapel.
Yeah, that.
Is he doing the cutting of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, he may not like that, but I had to do something to show it. But I'm gonna make the line look a little more realistic on the.
Yeah, better.
This. Yeah.
Better on the tie for sure.
I don't know how much to add to it because I really did just trace it, but I just need maybe a little too thick, a little too consistent. Let me connect the lines for one, and then we'll go from there. Make the line smaller. I don't know what lines to change if I'm being honest with myself. I'm gonna make them narrower, I guess. Whoops.
I think so.
I never meant to use the dark gray, but okay. I could have added undo, but I didn't. Now, this is a very generic way of doing it. The proper way would have been for me to just relay down the paper, but that's just too much work. Which I could still do off the air, so to speak. And there's that. So, make this line a lot narrower. So this won't be one of my finest patterns, at least as far as the suit goes. I'm content with the faces and everything. But yeah. I don't want to have a fill of 200. We're going to go with 80. 200 would color it all the way in. Zoom in.
Got some speckles.
Yes, sir. No way's going to get there, I swear. I don't like them evil speckles. We don't like sharp angles on clothes either, so that's why I got to zoom in sometimes. Except for where there is a sharp angle, like where the color meets everything. If I were to zoom in on every pattern I did, man, I'd be here all day. Because when it's drawn by hand with a pen, it can be a little sloppy up close. Yeah, I believe it or not, if I had to pick something that ruined the whole pattern, it was It was the suit being so plain.
Yeah.
But there's really no way to add detail to that tie. I mean, unless I treated it like it was light colored.
Yep. That's one thing I would have problems with too.
It almost looks like, yeah, I need to add some kind of. Oh, I don't like that tie. I may redo the tie on paper too, but it doesn't have to be on this live stream. That looks like one of them old Captain Kangaroo suits. The way I've got that line drawn, so I probably should have left that out. Aye.
I think so.
You think I should have
I
left
would
it
have just done the tie myself. That's my thinking on it.
Okay, I'm just going to go A, B, C to save it to work off of later. But, yeah, overall, I'm not entirely thrilled. But I think the faces look like them. I'm just going to fiddle with his hair a little bit in the tie and the suit. But I think it's a safe assumption that we did okay on the pattern. It just looked a little empty in the suit area.
I
But
think so. It's a
y'all are
good
welcome
job.
to disagree with me.
No, so it's a good job.
Right. Yeah, I'm probably gonna wrestle with the hair and the tie whenever I'm more conscious. Although I may be conscious again. That sounds positive. In other words, pattern related. I don't know if I want to piddle with it anymore, but I'm not dead tired either. So yeah, so we got that. Now here's the second option. I know this is not how it's going to stay because that looks like a Captain Kangaroo suit, but it's giving me something to work off of shape-wise, but I'll probably end up printing things out.
Okay, Daniel says he's got to go.
Hey,
Bedtime.
we can go around here. Where's my stop screen sharing? Oh, there he is. We still got 7 people watching. I hate ending live streams when there's people watching.
It is what it is.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a winking smiley with a cigarette and a cowboy hat. Sorry. I got issues. Appreciate y'all being here. What the heck? I don't want to end the live stream, but dang it, I hate. This is an example of me proving that they don't always come out in the first try. But hopefully y'all got the premise of watch me get 30 thumbs down just because it didn't come out perfectly. But
Wow, bull! That was an outstanding job.
I'll quit. You suck.
And I'm not blowing smoke either. That's not me in the picture.
the faces I'm happy with.
Right.
His hair could use a little bit of work. The suit is utter crap. So yeah, it's definitely fixable. I just don't think the average people want to sit and watch that because whoop-de-doo, chasing a tie and a suit.
I would tend to agree, but by and large, well done.
Much obliged, mister. What the heck we gonna do now?
Say goodnight, folks.
Megan, by
Daryl
the way,
said it looks great from Maine. I said it looks great from Texas too.
well, I appreciate that. By the way, if y'all have Facebook and I told y'all the only thing that hurt out of all the health crap I was dealing with is that lady couldn't aim
Ooh.
doing the IV. That's what these purple dots are. That woman liked to dot it all over me. This one, that was the worst pain I felt in a while.
I know it. I'd give him a couple chances. That's it. Go find somebody else.
Yeah, no, this was a scuff I did on my own way back when, but both of these dots on the back of my hand are from them trying to, let's target practice on the back of his hand for an IV, by God. So why don't you just pitch your javelin from 30 feet back? That'd feel just as good.
Looks like Woodden says he's got to hit the road too.
Come on now. What'd you do that for?
They're dropping like flies,
I
man.
know, man. Well, that's what happens when it stinks.
As my old buddy says, you don't have to go home, but you cannot stay here.
We're up to 57 views, and I'm still being held for review.
Wow.
God love you. Okay, we didn't lose any subscribers. That's a reassuring. But just know, folks, it does not always work the first time. That's the benefit of these live streams. Y'all get to see. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now, the 2 live streams earlier worked out perfectly. So if you want to see ones that turned out right, look at live stream 61 and 62.
Dennis says he's still here if you're here.
Well, what can we work on, Russ? Come on now.
Hey, I'm just a sidekick. I'm not the one that makes the decisions.
But I need feedback, man. I know there's only 6 people watching, but surely there's something we can do. I'm still awake. But that being said, I don't know if I want to wrestle with all the time it would take to do this one, if I'm being honest. Now, on a future live feed, yes, but this one, that would take too long to get done in this live stream and still be conscious.
Yeah.
But your wife would make you leave. That looks funny.
Yeah, it should make me leave anyway.
Look at that. He's got a little squish face. That's as funny as crap right there.
Mhm.
Chief E.T. What was his name? I don't remember what it was.
You said it, but I don't remember what it was either.
Believe it. Earlier we had Chief Black Eagle and White Swan. They are named on the website as well. If you look in the Native American folder, both those patterns I did on the earlier two live feeds, live stream number 61 and live stream number 62, they are available on the website. I should have mentioned that earlier. I also have 3 Kobe Bryants. If you look under Kobe, it's Kobe. Under search in the search bar on the right side, you'll find those. And I don't remember what this fella's name was. It doesn't really matter, but it is eating at me, so I'm gonna go check just to say I did. Where am I at here? W Old West. Shut up, Cletus.
Come on, Cletus.
No, that's why. Shut up, Cletus. Don't call me that. I know I didn't sound like him. Kiss it. I used to be right good at impressions till I met Mr. Meadows over there. Okay, somebody stole my engine. My Native American Florrie. His name is Chief American Horse. He is
American Horse.
American Horse. He is a Sioux Indian.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
I've never heard of him.
Me neither. I hadn't heard of any of these fellas, but I found a new old-time Native American and cowboy photographer named F.A. Reinhardt, also known as Frank A. Reinhardt. He has some good pictures to work from. Yeah, but I hate ending live page when there's anybody watching. And I want to be up all night. Probably what I'm going to end up doing, since we all voted on what to cut, we picked the, what's his face? What's his face? Rooster
Cogburn.
Have it all printed out. This is just to give me the size, the actual size his head's going to be. That's one sheet of paper. That's all the sheets of paper it's going to take to get it onto the wood. But that's going to be our next cutting. And then we got what you call it, Kevin
Costner.
Yeah, from Yellowstone. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing when we're off the air.
And where in the cube is the Cowboys in front of the barn?
Nobody ever voted on that. I forgot to include it in the voting.
Okay. I thought somebody did. I thought it was in line.
Oh, well, I know somebody brought it up afterwards, but I know I can ask every live feed, when do y'all want to see this? I would prefer to do the John Wayne and the Yellowstone first, and then we could probably squeeze it in because it's already drawn on the wood. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop doing the things where I draw onto the wood during the live stream, because that's really just kind of a train wreck watching me trace. Unless you think it has any visual appeal to anybody, I don't trust my own judgment.
Here's the deal. They see you tracing it to begin with. Okay, they see you tracing the pattern out before you put it on the wood.
Yeah.
Do you think that they want to see and watch you trace it twice?
There's an idea. Well, they don't always see me creating the pattern, though.
That's true, but then.
Oh, you mean tracing once with the blade?
Well, you trace the pattern tonight, like you just did. Then you would take that pattern and put it on the wood with carbon paper under it and trace it again.
Yeah, except they didn't see me. They didn't see me tracing this one. This one here. But again, watching me trace something on the wood, it would only maybe, for those of us that get together just for the socializing, it may be okay with them, but the average viewer is not going to want, oh, whoop-de-doo, he's tracing something on the wood. That ain't nothing. So this is probably what I'll be working on tonight when I'm not doing a live stream, because this is the third it ended after midnight, but it was the third live stream in 12 hours, by God. So
by God.
I'm not a machine.
But see, another advantage when you cut things this big, if you wanted to add more detail, you could, but I'm not going to. Sometimes I do that. The areas that I tend to add more detail when I cut large is things like reins on or rope on a horse. I mean, there's not any showing here, but if there was a rope hanging down, this is his leg. If there was a rope hanging down, I would, do the little ripples to make it look more like a rope.
Right.
That's really the only changes I make when I cut big. So
How
the
big
next,
is that one going to be?
I believe it. They're both going to be about 23 inches wide
Okay.
by whatever's proportional, and they are taller than they are wide. So
Normal for you.
yes, normal Billboard Charlie. Billboard Charlie. Billboard Charlie. That's kind of cool.
Hey, man, that sounds like a good hobo name.
Billboard Charlie. Billboard Charlie the Blade Breaker.
My God, you could ride the trains calling yourself that, man. That's good. That's a good name.
I'm the train they call the stadium. We're not going to sing. Woodden says they can do what I did and ask you how you put the pattern on the wood. By God.
Well, there
I
you
think
go.
that's his way of saying I don't want to see you tracing either. That's not really exciting except for the socials. But we had Daryl Foss, we had Daniel Davis, we had Lawrence Aldridge, we had Woodden, we have Herbert Hooper hiding in there somewhere. He might be actually sleeping like an old person. And a couple Luis Diaz, who was it? Luis Diaz and Jesse Ramirez and Joe Castillo stopped by.
That was before my time.
Was before your time. Yes.
I did not see them.
Again, folks, forgive the drag out portion of this is because I just know I'm going to be all alone when I end this live feed. I'm so alone. But yes, you said that, sir. Says what did. But overall, I'm happy with the pattern. I just need to work on the tie and the suit and add a little bit of detail to the hair, but the faces look like them in my opinion, so I think we're good on. Papa Dan, I forgot to mention him. Sorry, sir. He says good night and scroll on. I appreciate you, sir. And I'm going to go ahead and let Russ do the magic. And Russ, wait till I say go. But by God, everybody, I'm going to say it first, and he's going to end it out, and you have to stay still until this thing ends. And I'm not going to mess with him and leave the button not pushed, so he has to turn it around the camera. Because he thought I was doing that before. No, I think Mark Lindsay thought that. Anyway, I appreciate every one of y'all. I'm going to say scroll on, and right after I get done talking, we're going to have Russ Meadows say scroll on and point at the camera, and we're going to end it. We appreciate you, but don't worry, we're going to have a live stream number 63. It'll probably be cutting on Mr. Rooster Cogburn sitting on a horse. Come on, scroll on right now, Mr. Russ.